I already knew he was doomed, man. I was just hoping that he caught him with a shot just so I can be like, my because I had betted on him, so you know, I betted on him under 8.5 rounds. It ain't nothing against Tank. I like Tank, but I mean the odds was in my favor to win a lot of money. So if I'm gonna win a lot of money, I'm gonna bet the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? But I lost $100 last night, man.
All right, man. So look, check it out. Look, check this out. So me and
You
my man
know?
here. All right, we live in HD on YouTube. Y'all know how we do the YouTube boxing community, and I'm gonna let Big Hill go ahead and get to it. Phil Walker and the rest of the crew, they already have the link, so you guys take your time and join. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then let's go ahead and cook. If you want to come in and rotate, we always do that. You know how we do. We family, and let's keep it straight boxing, and let's cook on this matter at hand. Gervonta Tank Davis fight. What's up? So what you got, Big Hill? What's your thoughts on it?
All right. So I just said I was gonna come back on here. I was wrong with picking Ryan. I I don't mind admitting my wrongness, but the biggest thing is I lost money on this dude. I lost money on this dude, man. He's just like he hurt Tank in the second round. That's why Tank was doing all that holding. But then he overcommitted, like you said yesterday. I mean, the day before yesterday, Friday, when we was on Blood Podcast. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He always got his chin up. He swung. First of all, his feet placement was wrong from the get-go. I think that's what Tank set him up at. Tank foot was on the outside. Lee foot was on the outside the whole fight. Ryan did not adjust that at all. I just watched the fight again. So he lost that battle right there. So he was doomed already. Second thing where Ryan was doomed, man, he was not protecting his chin at all when he was throwing the hook. You know what I'm saying? And then another reason why he lost too, what's the kryptonite to a southpaw?
That liver shot, man. To be honest with you,
The straight right hand is the kryptonite to the southpaw. Ryan got hook happy, right?
Hey, that's what everybody say, but you got to think. I know that right straight is good, but most guys usually adjust that. But their body, man, because you southpaw, you saying you lead hand with your left, that liver's right up under there. You know what I'm saying? That to me, the body shot to the liver for a southpaw is probably your best target. To me, the liver's right there. That's on. If you get hit in the liver, it's gonna shit you. It's gonna temporarily shit you down.
Yeah, during that exchange, what you talking about when he knocked him out, the liver shot, he did get hit. And it did stun him a little bit, but he did his damage. His punch was more devastating than Ryan's right hook. Ryan landed the right hook in that exchange when Tank landed that left to the body. Now Tank kept messing with Ryan and throughout the last week, saying, "Hey, you got hurt to the body." This man been telling Ryan what he gonna do. Like, I see you got hurt to the body. I heard you got hurt to the body. It's not clicking into him that he's gonna attack your body. Because Tank wasn't really head hunting, if you notice. After he knocked him down in the second round I was surprised Ryan got up from that. Cause when they showed that junk in slow motion, bro, that left he hit Ryan with in the second round. Anybody else wouldn't have got up from that, bro. That was flush.
Yeah, I was surprised he made it out the second round after that.
Yeah, he got up from that, man. I was like, dang, he got up from that. Because any other person I seen get leverage like that and hit like that flush, they don't get up. So he got up. I'm like, cool. And then right after that, Tank can't really go for the head. I want everybody to realize that who didn't see the fight. He started attacking Ryan's body, systematically hitting him in the body, wearing his body down. So I think not only was the liver shot was the end, but it was an accumulation of body shots to the point where when he did hit him with that liver shot, it was it. that was all she wrote, man. So, you know, I ain't no hater, man. Shout out to Tank, man. Tank is you know what I'm saying? He's one of the top 4 pound for pound best. I can't put him over Devin Haney because he don't have all the belts, but I would love to see him fight Devin Haney. I can't put him over Terrence Bud Crawford or Earl Spence. So those are 3 people I got in front of him. But
what about Canelo? No Canelo over him or no Usyk?
Man, you know what, man? Canelo, man, ain't fighting nobody in his weight class, man. And then when he do fight people, he not fighting the right people. Until Canelo fight Benavidez and Charlo and that one kid that fought on the undercard of last night fight, David Morrell.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that good. That dude's nice. Yeah, he nice. I mean, until he started fighting them guys, man, you know what I'm saying? I lost a little bit of respect for Canelo, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he went up to light heavyweight because he thought he could beat Bivol because he thought Bivol was slow. But I told everybody that's not a good matchup because Bivol is fundamentally sound, man. And when you got a fundamentally sound fighter who know how to use his range and distance, you ain't finna beat him, man. He wasn't finna beat Bivol. So Canelo in my top 5, and so is Shakur Stevens. But I just think Shakur really don't got enough power to keep Tank off of him. That's why I didn't say his name. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't say his name. Shakur is one of my favorite fighters, man. He's in my top 10 of favorite fighters, man. He just don't got no punching power, man. That's my biggest thing with him, man. Like, he fight Tank, man. How you gonna keep Tank off you, man? Yeah. I just can't see him keeping Tank off on him, man. He don't got no power to get Tank respect. Now, one thing I will say, Ryan did get Tank respect. That's why Tank started going to the body and systematically breaking him down to the body, man. I done watched this fight 3 times, man, since last night, man. Because at first, when you hit me up and told you what I told you, I'm like, man, that shit look fixed. Because I thought Ryan could get back up, man. I'm like, man, this dude quit, man. He quit.
Yeah, a lot of people said something about fixed a little bit because of the delayed reaction. And I know how it is when you pick a fighter and they kind of don't perform or some things go wrong. You be like, hold on. That's suspect. So as boxing fans, we always gonna analyze what's going on. So I'm with you on that. So what made you pick Ryan? Let's go back to that. What made you pick Ryan in the first place? Like, what surprised you about Tank's abilities in the ring last night?
He adjusted. That's what he adjusted to Ryan's what Ryan was doing. When Ryan caught him and hurt him, and he grabbed him, because he did hurt him, I watched it, and he was a little flipsy. His ring IQ experience kicked in. He's like, you know what? That motherfucker can punch. I'm about to grab his ass and get my cobweb straight, and I'm finna set a trap. So that's what he did. He grabbed him, held him. I seen when he got his shit back together, and then he helped him one more time, and then I saw where he moved his foot placement. Told you, perfect foot placement. Ryan came in through that hook. Tank just stepped to the side just a tad bit in a perfect angle. Yeah, that hit him. He adjusted, man. Yeah. His ability to adjust on the fly is second to none, man. And then another thing, he wasn't really listening to Calvin Ford last night. I don't know if you noticed that. He kept looking out the ring, listening to Floyd. Floyd. So he listened to Floyd the whole fight. He didn't. I'm like, Calvin Ford. I know Calvin Ford was probably getting upset. Like, damn, I'm trying to tell him that he wasn't even listening to Calvin Ford. He was listening to Floyd the whole fight, man. So it's just crazy, man, that Floyd was right there, man, coaching him through that fight. So another reason why he won too, he had a better corner than Ryan, man. I don't know what Joe Goosen was doing, man.
He said he had 3 game plans. Joe Goosen said he had 3 game plans. I didn't see anything of the sort. I didn't see 3 of anything.
Here's one thing too, though, man. If you know your fighter is being aggressive, and you know, that's the one thing I said, man. before this fight. I said he cannot be over aggressive with Tank. Here I am listening to him talking stuff. He's saying all the right stuff. So I'm thinking like he's not gonna be over aggressive. He's gonna be patient. Second round comes, he started getting over aggressive. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You asking to get knocked out. I know that. I'm a boxing fan before I like anybody. You asking to get knocked out. Why are you being over aggressive? Yes, you hurt him. Pick your shots. This is not no sorry dude you going up against. This dude is a counter power puncher. That's what I'm gonna say. He's a counter power puncher. He's waiting to counter you and hit you with power. He's not just gonna hit you and be like, hey, I'm getting points. He hitting you with power to get you out of there.
Absolutely.
So when you reach, he teased and he talked last night. Even though after the fight, he said Ryan was the best fighter he ever fought. And I get it. Ryan probably was the only fighter that really hurt him. That's why he said that. But in the same sense, like, you can see the skill level and the experience level difference in that fight, man, as it progressed after the second round. As it got to the third and fourth and fifth round, and I'm sitting here on my couch watching it, man. I'm glad I didn't go to the fight because I was supposed to go. And I'm sitting here watching it, bro. He just kept tagging him. He would fake like he should have hit him in, and he hit him in the stomach. I said, man, he hitting him in the gut, man. I'm like, he gonna put some power on one of them shots, man, just to see if Ryan can hold up to his body, because he know Ryan don't got no punch resistance to the body, because he been saying it throughout the whole press conference. So you know what I'm saying? It was a I won't say flawless performance by Tank, but his ability to adjust on the fly was flawless. That's what I would say. He adjusted.
I agree.
He adjusted. Yes, he did.
We was talking about this yesterday, and what I was telling you is I don't know if you accounted for the power and the accuracy of Tank Davis. Tank Davis has a high IQ. I keep telling people that. People get fooled because they think he
can barely speak. Yeah,
and that's just articulation, man, and that ain't really got nothing to do with your IQ. Your slang and your vernacular and how you talk don't have nothing to do with how you process information. Tank got too much power to be that small. Like, y'all, people got to understand that. I know people get caught up sometimes in the height and range difference. But Ryan Garcia is not a rangy fighter. So therefore, for me, first of all, this is what I felt with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is very inconsistent. He's very up and down, in and out of the ring. Shout out to anybody suffering with mental health issues, and I'm glad he was able to overcome that. But that gives you inactivity. Inactivity is the enemy of a boxer. Tank has pushed up with his activity. He's gotten his weight under control over the last 2 years. We don't really see Tank struggling as much as he used to going into a fight. He's been consistently solid. And I understand the catch weights for him, because at the end of the day, Tank has been bullshitting for years. And I think he's trying to find his body now at the late age of Tank's 30. So he's trying to find that now. So he's probably going to ultimately land at 135, and that's where he's going to probably stay at for a while. I know the fight was 136, so that places him at 140, but he's going to have to make that 135.
He got a title at 140.
Yeah, I know, but it's not
he got a WBA title at 140, so.
Yeah, but it's the regular one, and if that, because Taylor was clearly undisputed, so we don't recognize the fact that he's a champion. He's not really a champion at all because he got a secondary, and I get it. It's the regular title, but I don't like the fact that the regular title is out there for the WBA side of the house when there's an undisputed. When there's an undisputed, you're supposed to remove those secondary titles that would suggest that somebody else is a champion. I get it if you're going to use the WBA regular to say that's a mandatory spot. I fuck with that, but that's not what they're doing with it. They're just abusing the system to have more sanctioning.
More belts. You got to think, the more belts in the sanctioning body, the more money that sanctioning body can get. Because those fighters have to pay like $300,000 just to have a belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was looking into that. That's why Floyd told, I think it was the WBO, he didn't want that belt because they wanted him to give him $500,000. He's like, I ain't giving y'all no $500,000 for that belt. Y'all can take it. Remember when he beat Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah. I know.
He's supposed to get that belt, man.
Yep. So listen, with Ryan Garcia, I just think that he said he want to get back into the ring. All right. I don't trust him to get back in there and be consistent and stay focused. I think that he's going to probably have some issues at 140. And I keep telling you guys, for me, he feels like an Amir Khan. He got the same trajectory. Slim, long, tall, coming from weight classes that was smaller, where he was tall and considered to be big with a bunch of hand speed, and he just never panned out. And I think once you kind of quit like that, it becomes easier. So now the blueprint is out on Ryan Garcia.
If you hit him to the body, he'll quit.
And if you give him any issues, he might quit. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have heart or chin or other attributes, because he got up from that tank hit, and it was still early though. That's the key. It's only going to get worse later when you fight Tank, because Tank has KOs later in fights, through the mid fights and at the beginning of fights. So his power is sustainable through the whole fight because he's so accurate and precise, and he land those power punches with such precision. That's why his knockout ratio is in the 90 percentile, because he's strong, short. And I told you one thing about Ryan Garcia, that tall shit don't always matter, especially when you got to punch down and you got to change the muscles. So when he was training, was they having him jab into the heavy bag on the normal plane, or did they have him adjusting to Tank's height? And most people don't.
So I'm going to say this. From what I saw when him training, he was punching up. And I'm like, why are you punching up? You should be punching down, because that's what Tank at. And I'm not going to lie. Maybe Tank was wearing like shoes to make him look taller, because when they was in the ring, Ryan was way taller than Tank.
Yeah,
way taller than Tank.
It was apparent. It wasn't really I didn't really see that the size was going to be off by any means of the stretch, right? So I kind of knew that he was going to be taller than him. That's why I was like, we knew he was going to be taller, but I knew it was a big difference. I knew it was about a 4 to 6 inch difference, depending on what they shoes.
Yeah, it didn't look like it though when they was doing the stare down and stuff. But then, when you're in the ring, you can't wear like shoes to make you look taller. You have to wear like the flat boxing shoes. So when I saw that, I'm like, damn, he's way taller than Tank.
But I'm gonna tell you what, understand though, Tank be crotching. Tank kind of crotches low to get that leverage when he kind of shoot the left hand up under your chin.
Yeah, Mike Tyson said it best. He said Tank is like him when he punches. He said he kind of like lunges. He said him and Tank, the only two people he's seen that they lunge with their power. That's how they get their power from.
Yep.
And he said it works well against taller fighters. And Mike Tyson picked the 7th round on ESPN. He said Tank was going to knock him out in the 7th round, because he said Tank is going to catch Ryan with one of those lunging lefts. And it just happened, and he caught him with a body shot. And what's crazy is Tank predicted been saying a body shot. Ryan went to the body for the last week. So he knew something that we didn't know.
I thought maybe Ryan would get up and show a little bit more heart. And that's why I pulled for the 9th. I pulled between 6 and 6, 7, and 8. Those are the ones that I was doing. But I landed on the 9th because I did want to pay some respect to Garcia, because I know he's fast enough and cagey enough to.
And that's another thing. He didn't let his hands go, man, after the he didn't let his hands go after the 2nd round after he got knocked down, because before that, in the beginning in the 2nd round, he doubled up on the hook and he landed it. And then he shot a straight right hand and he landed that. And I'm like, use your speed, bro. Use it. You could touch him if you use it, but he just got, I think, man, once he got hit, and Bernard Hopkins called it too. He's like, he said, if Ryan gets hit, that's going to determine the fight, because that's going to let you know if he got heart and he feel like he could take Tank power, or if he's going to be inactive and not be able to take Tank power. Bernard Hopkins called that on Friday after the weigh-in. He said that. So he knew something that we didn't know neither, man. So, lesson learned for me, man. This will be the last time that I doubt Gervonta Davis, but I really don't see nobody at 135 besides Frank Martin, which nobody's talking about, that got the skill set.
They talking about Frank in the community. People talking about
besides Frank Martin, who actually got punching power and is skilled, that's gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying. And he left-handed just like Tank, so there's no advantages there. So he's like the only one that I see that probably give Tank problems.
What about
Devin?
Shakur?
Don't got no. Yeah. Again, I know I said Shakur, but I mean Devin is he's like fundamentally sound, man. It's like it's hard for me not to say he don't have a chance in that fight. And Devin showed me that he got a chance too, because Lenard hit him.
Lenard hit out,
and he didn't go down. So I'm like, dang, Devin might have a chance too, but Lenard's got punching power, but he got punching power like Tank. I don't know. I don't think so, but I mean, he showed he got a chance, man. Them the only two cats, man. I just think Shakur is so skilled and he don't get hit, right? But he don't have enough in his ammo to keep Tank off. I think Tank would eat 5 or 6 of those just to throw his one, and his one might be enough to get Shakur out of there. So I see somebody in your chat said, I got Tank in my top 4 pound for pound. Damn. Like, yeah. Why wouldn't I put him up there? I mean, tell me somebody in the lightweight division that can mess with him besides the 2 people I said. It ain't really nobody that can mess with him.
Yeah, but what they're saying is 4 is a stretch. Like 4 to put him in the top 4, right, is a different animal in the top 3 or top 4 with that lightweight, because you still got Canelo. Now, let me ask you this, though. For him to be on your pound for pound list just to get
I don't put Tyson Fury in the top. I put no heavyweight in pound for pound. Why? Because they're heavyweights.
Right.
Heavyweights, they made pound for people in the lower weight classes, because the heavyweight is supposed to be the premier weight class. So I don't put no heavyweight in the pound for pound list.
So who you're for? Who you're for without heavyweights?
Terrence Bud Crawford. I feel like even though I think Earl Spence can beat him, you still got to put respect on him, because he moved up from 135. He cleaned out 135. He cleaned out 140. And he beat 4 legitimate welterweights at 147. So I got to put him 1. I put Earl 2 because Earl's the unified welterweight champion. He done beat the who's of the divisions too. So that's why I want to see them fight so bad. And then I got Devin at 3 because Devin is undisputed. You know what, man? I can't even put Devin there. I'm forgetting about somebody. My bad. You know what I'm forgetting about? I'm forgetting about that twin.
That's what I was waiting for you. I was gonna wait for you. I was like,
hey, I'm forgetting about Jamel. Hey, Jamel a bad motherfucker, man. I forgot about that.
What about anyway? What about Monster? What about Monster?
We'll see what he do against Fulton.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm waiting to that fight before I can put him, because I really think he can't really be up there until he fight. He hasn't fought a black fighter. Not trying to be funny in that.
Yeah.
So when he fight Fulton, and if he beat Fulton, I'll put him up there
with that style. Yeah, you want to see him against that style and see against it. Yeah. Hey, just for the record, man, anybody, the link is in the box or in the chat. You guys can jump on and rotate on how you feel and give your piece on your aftermath. This is very interactive. Well, you ain't just got to listen to me and he'll talk. You ain't got to just stay in the chat. Hey, man, we real people. Just jump on. If you want to say something, I'll bring you in here and you can speak your piece on the aftermath of the fight. So, but go ahead, keep cooking, Big Hill, because you got the floor. You've been speaking some truth, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I can't forget about the twin, man. I was thinking, like, hold on, wait a second. It's somebody who cleaned out the division and beat everybody. Fulton was out last night. Yeah, he was out there. He picked Tank too. He picked Tank in the 9th round. Everybody was picking Tank except me.
Now there's a few other people on the podcast the other day that was speaking.
Hey, I'm talking about the pros, man. All the pros was picking Tank except for me. Only one person picked Ryan. That was Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, he did.
And he picked Ryan for the same reasons I picked him, his speed.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to realize everybody's not like Roy Jones Jr. You know, his speed was like different. His speed accumulated into power. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's speed don't accumulate to power like Roy's did. Roy's speed was like his power. He hit you with 3-4 shots, and like next thing you know, you down, man. Like that's how fast he was. So I think I fall in love with too much of the speed. And Floyd Mayweather really didn't have like blazing speed like that. I think Floyd had great timing. So it made him look like he was fast because his timing was just so on point. I was watching Arturo Gatti fight the other night, man. And man, I ain't never seen nobody get hit as much as Arturo Gatti got hit in that fight, man. I was just like, God dang, the refs could have stopped that fight in like the 4th round. I think Floyd hit him with a 14-piece, man, in the 4th round.
Yeah.
I was just like, God dang, ref, throw in the towel, man. Nobody should be taking punishment like that. But yeah, man, I think I fell in love with Ryan's speed, man. And I admit, man, that like Ryan didn't do some of the things that I thought he would do. Somebody in Blood's chat live on Friday said he needs to switch up the speed of his jab. He never did that. He threw the same pace and speed of the jab. It was easy for Tank to get the timing down for his jab to move out the way. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that Ryan didn't do that if he had a great corner, he could have done. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Ryan had Derrick James in his corner. Probably would have been a different fight until he got touched. I mean, I do believe 50% of that is who's your trainer. Because when you come back to the corner, you need somebody that's going to be real and tell you, hey, you're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. You need to do this, or it's going to be an early night. You're gonna lose. You need somebody in your corner telling you that. And if you got somebody in your corner not telling you that, you know what I'm saying, then, you know, and telling you what you need to do, somebody could have been telling Ryan, hey, keep your lead foot on the outside of Tank no matter what. It's easy for you to escape if you throw something back if your lead foot is on the outside. His foot was in the inside of Tank's lead foot the whole night. And that's why it was easy for Tank to touch his body. He's up. Like, I don't get it. If you got a 4-inch reach advantage, use it. Please, use it. And he didn't do it last night, man. And you know what I'm saying? It really, like, upset me, too, because I paid for the pay-per-view, right? I mean, I paid for all Tank pay-per-views. Paid for the pay-per-view. And then at the very last minute, when they said, hey, if you pick up under 8.5 rounds, you win an additional money. I'm like, man, let me go ahead and place this bet. I placed the bet. I was going back and forth like, I should be like everybody else. Let me go with the save bet on Tank. Then I wasn't going to win no money. So, I betted on Ryan, man, because I was going to win some money, and I messed up. So I can admit when I'm wrong, man, on something, man. Like I said, I just got caught up in Ryan's speed, man, because I've been watching this kid for the last 4 years, and his speed is he got speed, man. That's like he got fast speed, like speed that's like probably the fastest hands in boxing. He just don't know how to use them. I hate to say that.
Usually the guys who have that kind of speed, they usually don't know how to control it. They usually, you know, I call them octopus arms. They just let them fly. They don't change the pacing. They don't change the level. They don't really go to the body. They usually be head hunters. Ryan Garcia's body attack was just missing. Not saying
he don't have a good body attack. You're right.
Yeah, but he needed it more than ever against Tank, especially when they was in the clinches, and especially when they was doing the dirty boxing. And I do notice that Ryan Garcia, what fucked him really was when he came over with the hook over the top of Tank's head, he kept trying to hold. He kept trying to do the Mayweather thing where he head control, the Klitschko thing where he, put the head down. But you spent time trying to put your forearm on him and head control him, and Tank swung out and hit you across your jaw, and that's what got you the first time. You made the same exact mistake with the body. It's just that he didn't come all the way up and hit you across your chin again. He hit you in that liver. You know what I'm saying? So the right hook was just terrible. It was not a good punch for Garcia, and he was leading with the hook. He should have been hooking off the jab. One thing that Ryan Garcia should have been doing is he should have kept the range. He could have poking and probing, jabbing, changing levels, double, triple, body, head, change levels, and then he should have hooked off the jab versus just leaping in trying to do what Tank needed.
He hooked off the jab once. Exactly. And he landed it. That's when he caught Tank's attention. That was early in the second round. I just watched it. What you just said, he did it once, and he ain't do it no more. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, when you're that rangy and you're that tall, and you jabbing, and you changing levels, and you tripling and double. First of all, you got to look at the head, right? Then you got to concentrate on the body. Then when they hook on it, it's coming from the side angle. So when they double jab, triple jab, then they doing it to the body, changing levels. Now you got to worry about levels, the amount of punches that's coming from the jab. Is the stickiest punch out there, and he can probe you in his head control. Then the nigga hooking off that bitch. Man, we ain't even got to the left or the right, depending on which stance you. We ain't even got to the left.
Yeah, we ain't even got to the other hand because he jabbing
too much. Man, Ryan Garcia should have been Ryan Garcia. He cut off the ring awesome. He shouldn't have been chasing just like Rolly. Rolly had good control. He did better than Ryan to me against Tank. It's just that
Rolly, he just lost in the round earlier
because he got over anxious. One thing about Tank, he's easy to frustrate, and when he started crying to the judges and the referee, I know he's in trouble. So I do know Ryan caused some issues for him.
Yeah, okay. He started crying to the refs.
Yeah, he started doing that Adrian Broner shit. That's one thing to tell sign about Adrian Broner and Tank that they got in common. The crying to the referee, trying to move behind the referee to get away from the action. Caleb Plant got that same issue. They try to get too cute. They try to be too cute. But Ryan should have just stood his ground, pumped the jab, and did exactly what we just spoke on just a few minutes ago. So.
Yeah, he got to go back to the drawing board. He needs to really get with somebody that is going to, again, it's all about his heart too, man. He didn't really show no Mexican heart last night neither. I told people that too. Like, that's another thing. I've never seen any Mexican fighter go out like Ryan did. Like, they normally go out on their shield.
No, you seen Oscar De La Hoya get the same kind of body shot from B-Hop.
Yeah, and that's, you know what, that's crazy that you say that, because like neither one of those punches that B-Hop threw or Tank threw looked powerful. But they did tremendous damage.
Yeah. Soft to the body, man. That's all it is. Soft to the body. And De La Hoya was soft to the body as well, too. People just didn't really exploit it as much as they should have. Because, De La Hoya would get you into these headshot firefights. You know, De La Hoya had a good left hook as well, too. You know what I'm saying? So, because he was left-handed anyway.
So I got to clear the elephant in the room because I know somebody's going to ask this. So I'm going to ask you what you think. Do you agree with that late second rehydration weigh-in? Like,
no, absolutely not. I think
I
agree
with it. I'm not going to make that as an excuse for Ryan losing. Ryan had every chance last night to win this fight because, like I said, he did hurt Tank. And if I'm a fighter and I hurt somebody, that's going to give me confidence. That's going to give me confidence that, hey, the shit that I'm throwing back at him, that shit's hurting him too. But, like, I just think, man, like, I really think that, like, there should never be a rehydration clause. Like, people want to compare that to Floyd. Floyd ain't never have no rehydration clause. He always had catch weights. But go back and look. He never had a rehydration clause. Remember, he had the catch weight with Canelo of 152. When it came into the night of the fight, Canelo weighed almost 171 pounds. And Floyd weighed like 155. See what I'm saying? It was never like, he never made Canelo, hey, you can't rehydrate to this many pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Even if they didn't have that, I still think that Tank probably would have stopped Ryan to the body. Yeah.
I think so too. I don't think that it would have did any justice to him.
I just think that whole rehydration thing really gives a lot of people that are casual fans an excuse for Ryan losing. That's why I was never a fan of it. I was never a fan of it because I wanted, if you beat somebody, I wanted you to beat them fair and square. That way they can't never say, well, I was dehydrated. Because I'm telling you, about like a week or so, Ryan gonna say he was dehydrated. Watch what I tell you. And that's gonna take away from the fight because although he had 2 weigh-ins. You had to weigh in at 3:30 on Friday, and then you had to weigh in again at almost noon the next day of the fight day. Like, man, shit crazy, man.
All right, Coach. So, okay, Big Hill, you've been cooking for about 30 minutes, man. Oh, really 40, man, giving us that good stuff. So we finna introduce some more people here, let them rotate, get their thoughts out, Big Hill. They heard you, they listening. So I'm gonna introduce you to one of my partners, and another one of my partners. Big Phil, you was on a podcast with Big Phil Walker, Big Tex in the building. And then this my other boy, Get the Smoke. So we'll start with Get the Smoke and then rotate that thing to Phil, man.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up, people? Long time no chop up. Glad to see you live. Hey, catch you one more again. Starting with the last topic first, because you guys are doing some in-depth analysis here. The catch weight and the rehydration. Not just casual fans are going to say that impacted the fight. I think hardcore diehards like everyone is. I don't know why Tank had that rehydration and catch weight. I think he could have beat Ryan. I think Tank beats Ryan at every weight. He's just better than Ryan Garcia. And it just, to me, it takes like, it doesn't look good on Tank. At the end of the day, bottom line, and it's for posterity. It's not just behind the scenes where, you had to do your research to find out about it. They literally announced that it was a catch weight fight on the broadcast, while they're announcing the fight, while they're calling it, during the blow by blow action. So for the rest of, if anybody watches at least the Showtime broadcast of this fight, forever and ever, they're gonna know it's a catch weight rehydration fight. When it comes to I don't think that Tank was hurt. I think Ryan has a tendency. You touched on it. He throws all of his punches with the same speed and all that stuff, but he throws his punches also with so much velocity that it fucks up his feet, and there's no secondary punch because his balance is off. So his hooking off the jab wasn't ever going to happen because he shot his jab with so much force that it caused him to reach, and his recovery from throwing the jab doesn't allow him to do anything else off the jab. So all he had to do is wait for throw the jab, come back, and then hit him with something. And he would have to reset the whole process again. The one right hand he hit him with, again, he threw it with so much force that his back foot was off the ground. So even though the punch landed, his foot wasn't on the ground. So there's no force, but there's no power behind the shot. So Tank was able to see what the hell's going on, see if he could set him up with something, move out from from what it seemed to be a dangerous situation. But again, because Ryan's feet are so terrible, it wasn't. It looked a lot more dangerous than it ultimately was. I think I think there's a narrative about Tank out there that he is a slow starter, and I don't think that's what it is. I think he. From the opening bell, he's probing. He's looking for the thing that's going to set you up. He's looking for the openings, right? It's not that he just comes on and starts throwing a bunch of punches to get you out of there. Like last night, he opened up with a little bit of lateral movement, and he saw that Ryan's feet couldn't catch up with him. He was in the first minute of the fight, he was already following him around. So it's just a matter of time to walk him onto something. These guys who are stationary, cement feet are guys who are going to come at Tank, so he doesn't have to close the distance, right? Or he has better opportunity to close the distance because they don't know how to move out of the way, or they're going to close the distance for him. I am kind of done with these fights from Tank. I have now fatigue. I've seen it over and over and over again. I want him to Tank to fight a different style of fighter. Ryan Garcia, I think, he can come back, but I never thought he was that good. His technical ability, his technical flaws were just on everything that you could see that was wrong with Ryan from his
showed
last
up in the
fights.
fight. Yep, showed up in the fight. I agree.
His last 2 fights, from the Emmanuel to go fight, him not being able to close it, not being able to cut off the ring, throwing his shots and falling into the target, all of that shit showed up. The stuff from the Fortuna fight, the fact that he can't fight in angles. You have to be in a straight line for him to have success. Yes, you have to stand in front of Ryan for Ryan to have success. But as soon as you use an angle, he's fucking on his keister, right? Shout out to Tank for I think a really important event for boxing, and I love the atmosphere, the magnitude of the fight, and all that shit. But at this point, man, I'm done with these guys.
Yeah,
I need to see a different kind of guy from Tank now.
You need to see Tank fight Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson or somebody that got great foot work.
Yeah, whose hands and their feet match up, and they can like Ryan fighting long, just doesn't have the feet for it. He can be long, but he can't maintain the range because he throws his fucking punches with too much fucking velocity, and his feet are always fucked up. So
I'm gonna tell you, you know what that come down to? It come down to his discipline. The reason why he lost last night, he wasn't disciplined. He was not disciplined. All he had to do was stay behind the jab like he did in the first round and let Tank come to him. Instead, he got over anxious and overzealous, and he got caught. And once he got hit,
that jab was going to get faded. Like he was reaching over the jab. Like every time he threw his jab, his backhand went down, his chin was exposed, and his chin was damn near over his front foot. The dude can't fight. That's the problem. It's not about discipline. He's not very good.
I'm gonna say this, but if he would have kept doing that, that would have gave him a chance to catch Tank coming in with something. He's fast enough to do that, but because he didn't do that, that fight went horribly wrong for him. If he would have stayed patient.
You also mentioned something. Yeah, you mentioned his left hook. Yeah, sorry, you mentioned his left hook. Being like he was shooting the thing too high. There was no body shot to it. It wasn't just discipline. Like he's too damn one-dimensional. You have to, unless you're going to stand there, unless you're going to fight Ryan Garcia in straight lines. Like if you fight the dude in straight lines, or you stand there in mid-range and try to fight him right, just stand there in mid-range. Yeah, now Ryan is a whole problem. But a little bit of lateral movement, a little bit of angles, the dude turns like amateurish. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this that goes back to what we said on Friday before they weighed in. I brung it up. I said his foot placement. If Joe Goosen fixed his foot placement, Tank gonna have problems. I said that, but it was evident. Like I just told Zone 6. That's what y'all call him. I just told Zone, man, and like his foot placement, because I just watched the fight for the third time. I watched it immediately after he lost because I missed the knockdown in the second round because I went to go use the bathroom. That's how fast it happened. So I missed it, so I had to watch it again. And I was like, God, you dummy, I can't believe you did that. You know what I'm saying? Tank lured him in to that shot. You know what I'm saying? And then, Floyd had told Tank, like, he don't move his head, and he caught him. Tank knew all he had to do was duck up under that wild hook and just throw and plant his feet and throw that overhand right. So I just think stylistically, after watching this fight 3 times, Ryan was stylistically, Tank was superior to Ryan.
That was the case. Yeah, that's been the case of Ryan's whole career. Like when he's fighting Luke Campbell, he had even worse feet then. Like he had worse legs. Everything was worse. He's actually improved, and that's how scared, like how whack this dude's feet are, and how whack they've always been. And I don't even like
even in that fight.
To me, man, it's not like a Joe Goosen. You can fix that in 2 fights. Since the dude's been fighting since he's 12 years old, before he hit puberty, he's been in a boxing gym, and that's the condition of his feet. Like
He been a
somebody's supposed to fix
15-time
that.
amateur champ too,
Dude's just
fighting the
not good.
same way. Yeah, his feet are horrible. He didn't fix it in the Luke Campbell fight. That's why Luke Campbell dropped him. And I said that on one of my live feeds on Facebook. Because I was filming that live and commentating, and I was like, if he don't get his foot on the outside of Luke Campbell's foot, he's gonna get touched and he might get hurt. And what happened? He got knocked down. And then I thought maybe that was like 4 fights ago that maybe they would be done correct that issue, but it still was evident in this fight with Tank. Tank had his lead foot on the outside of Ryan's lead foot, and I was like, that's trouble already. You ask him for trouble from a counter power puncher, and that's exactly what Tank is. He's a power counter puncher.
Yeah, I don't think Tank had to lure Ryan into anything. I think Ryan had one thing, like he came, shot out of the cannon, came into press Tank. And yeah, when I was predicting this fight, when I envisioned this fight, I was just thinking Rolly Part 2. You're just going to overcommit, come into something, walk into a counter, and it'll be a short night. That's what I thought about this whole thing. It is what it is.
So let me ask y'all a question then. How do y'all think Tank aligns versus the other 135 pounders within the division, and even possibly moving up to 140?
Hold on, Kendall. Before we move on, I didn't think Smoke and my boy Big Hill was gonna ever get done cooking on that little segment. I wanted to come in and kind of
my bad, y'all.
Yeah. I say that boy ain't gonna stop, man. I don't want to interrupt nobody because I want it to be civilized discourse. But so look, check this out. What's the deal?
What's the deal?
All
Let
right.
me hear you cook.
Is that what now? Okay,
let me hear you cook. I want to hear you cook.
All right, man. Look, this is what the real was right here. But before this fight was even really made, I saw more ways for Tank to win than Ryan Garcia to win. And that's really what it boils down to. It's a couple different things that you need to think about. I think people should have thought about when they made the pick. I think experience was a factor, for one, obviously. And I think the lack of fundamentals on Ryan Garcia's side was a big factor, right? Obviously in favor of Tank. The other thing, if you want to speak from Ryan Garcia's perspective, you could say that he's a smaller guy and I should be able to use my range if I stay patient and beat him. I can beat him. So this is the deal. I think that Ryan Garcia would have had the only way he could beat Tank is if he used his range for 12 rounds and make it a snooze fest. That's the only way I saw him beating Tank, honestly. But before this fight, I also said that Tank Davis' boxing skills are very, very underrated. And they're going to see that Tank actually can box off the back foot, on the front foot, whatever he needs to be. I think Tank Davis has the ability to be that. So if at any point Ryan Garcia let his fundamentals play a part in the fight, is when he was going to lose. The guy has a extensive amateur background, 200 or something fights. But what people don't understand is the amateurs are designed for fundamentals in the technical aspect of boxing. So when you do turn pro, you don't have to go in there and they don't have to worry about you getting your ass killed in there because you don't know what you're doing. You dig what I'm saying? He never took time to fix the things that most people work on during the amateurs. And that's your technical ability, not overcommitting, not overreaching, basic footwork. All that stuff plays a major part in Ryan Garcia's repertoire of boxing. Has he been able to get away with it because he is fast and because he does have power? Absolutely. Yes. So, but sometimes you run across those fighters that can negate that and equalize that, and then you're kind of left without nothing. And last night, that's what happened. You know, Ryan Garcia's footwork was his footwork was well. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever caught a liver shot, but it's a pretty painful thing. But you know, he came into that fight in the first round. I think he did like he was supposed to do. In the second round, you know, he came out and we all saw what happened. He overreached, he overcommitted, and he got hit with some hot shit. That was never a good idea for him to trade with Tank. At any point during that fight, get close enough to be able to grab him. That's just not a good idea for Tank because he's an explosive fighter. He doesn't need a lot of room to hurt you. I know a lot of guys' power is at the end of their punches. I mean, I don't think it matters what Tank is throwing it from. If it lands, I feel like it's going to hurt. So I think first and foremost, the game plan was all wrong for Ryan.
I think when the game plan.
You know, I think he followed the game plan. It maybe didn't look like it because Tank is better than what they thought. That's what the problem was. See, people, this is the problem right here. A lot of these fighters and trainers look at Tank and they look at the guys that he's been fighting and they looked at the Pitbull Cruz fight and then they looked at the Rolly fight and said, man, maybe this guy isn't as good as we think he is. But the truth of the matter is Tank is good. He just been bullshitting and not fighting the right people. You see, they started believing what the situation was as far as him just not stepping up and fight good opponents. I mean, at the end of the day, the kid can fight. He does have a great skill set. His footwork looked good. He was super sharp, super duper explosive. Hey, man, he was faster than Ryan Garcia. His hands were way faster than Ryan Garcia, and he was way more explosive than Ryan Garcia. You know, that was a big topic. People talked about hand speed and all this other kind of stuff. Bruh, Tank Davis was better than Ryan Garcia at every aspect of that fight. So when you match up the skill for skill, it's not even close. It's not even close. You know, we had an idea if Ryan Garcia was good or not, but we always kind of knew Tank was good, right? We just needed him to show us consistently. And really, I don't even know if last night was a great gauge to see how good Tank really is because Ryan really hadn't proven anything as well. But again, man, Tank Davis put on a hell of a performance. Okay. Ryan Garcia, I think he'll be all right because he did have some good moments in the fight. You know, I don't think he quit like a lot of people are saying. But I mean, at the end of the day, his biggest vice is his technical and his fundamentals and the technical aspect of his fighting repertoire. Both of those caught up with him. They caught up with him last night.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't think it's just his feet. I don't think it's just his feet. You know, I don't think it's just his feet. I mean, you know, he doesn't lean back when he throws the jab. He doesn't lean on that back foot when he throws the jab. He's throwing the front jab and he's putting all of the power on his front foot when he should be leaning back and throwing that jab off his back foot while his momentum and his power is coming from that back leg. He's doing stuff like that. He throws a lot of shoulder shots. The hook, he's throwing it from the shoulder. He's not turning that pivot foot when he throws that hook. He's not doing that.
And Phil, that goes exactly to what I said. His feet. His feet.
Yeah, I mean, his feet is horrible, but I don't think it's just the footwork. You know what I'm saying?
He also still hates his chin. He also leaves his chin out to dry. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's and again,
he don't protect that shit at all.
Yeah, I mean, and again, which I mean, I think he did a wonderful job protecting the chin outside of the fact that he got hit with that shot in the second round. You know, he got stopped to the body. Tank Davis really wasn't hitting him in his face. I don't know what people are talking about.
No, yeah.
It wasn't like he was. It wasn't like he was.
After the second round, he started going to the body.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But that shot that you're talking about when he didn't protect his chin, that changed the whole momentum of the fight.
Yeah, but
like Ryan didn't win.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I get it. But this is the deal right here. It changed the whole momentum of the fight, but we can't just make up statistics like that. And he wasn't getting hit in the face. I mean, he was getting a lot of body work though. Tank stopped him to the body. He got hit with a good shot in the second round, you know. And people, but everybody's saying that, or let me say everybody. I've been hearing that, that shot changed the trajectory of the fight. Let me tell you something, bro. When you in there with a puncher and you get hit, you kind of know that you probably gonna get hit by this motherfucker at some point in time. I don't think it changed the trajectory of the fight. I think the fact of the matter is, human nature is to say, if I get caught, don't run my ass back in there because I could get caught again. So he knew that it was a potential that Tank could catch him at some point in time. Tank's got power. It's not like motherfuckers going in there and was like, let me see if Tank Davis really can punch. You'd be a goddamn fool to do that. If part of your game plan is to say, I want to at some point in time trade with a puncher, I don't think that's a very good game plan. But that's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah, no, it's not so much about statistics, how much he got hit in the face for me. It was the way that I saw him drop his lead hand, his backhand when he was jabbing, and he was reaching at the same time. I saw his chin exposed. But the other part of it is that shot that he kept putting him on his backside in the second round. That was just throwing the overhand right because he keeps his hand, has a tendency to keep his hand. They practice that in the gym. That was just because this is what Ryan does. He got put on his ass.
Yeah, but my thing is it's not like Tank was in there exploiting his chin. I mean, if his chin is that wide open, why the fuck wasn't he hitting it? That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying you've seen on the screen versus what Tank actually could do phically inside of the ring. That's my point of view.
I think it's hold on one second. He put him on his ass, bro. He put him on his ass behind it. I don't know how you overlooking this fact. Like he literally said, this dude keeps his head in the chin. So I threw it. So I knew I just we were practicing throwing the overhand right.
Get the smoke. I don't know if you're listening. I said outside of the second round. outside of the second round. It's not like Tank Davis was exploiting the man's chin. They went 7 rounds and he got one fucking good shot on him. So stop with the bullshit. Like, I mean, this chin.
It's all good. I think we're just talking past each other a little bit. We're just talking about the technical flaws that he has in his game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the man was exploiting the man's chin. I mean, I didn't see no exploitation of his chin. Outside of that one shot.
I mean, outside the exploitation of the chin that existed, that everybody saw. Or we're just talking about the fact that it exists.
He touched Ryan more to the body than he did to the head.
Yeah, and I mean, outside of jabs, I think Tank landed a lot of jabs. You know what I mean? He landed a lot of jabs, but this is the thing. Tank is not giving you a lot of output. And that's what people not understanding. Tank is not in there throwing fucking 100 punches. The kid is barely throwing 50 punches, 40 punches. Dude, I counted how many punches he threw the first round. He didn't throw 10 shots the first round, not 10. Come on, man. Please, man, stop with the crazy stuff, man. So my deal is this right here. Yes, does Ryan Garcia expose his chin because his technical he's lacking from a technical aspect? Yes, he does. Okay, he does expose his chin. Did Tank Davis exploit that last night? No, I don't think so. Outside of that one good shot, he only hit him with one good shot. You know what I mean? And it's boxing. You don't get hit with one good shot in the fight, man, at least once. But Tank really just outclassed him, jabbed him, went to his body, and stopped him to the body. So at the end of the day, man, I think Tank came in with obviously the better game plan. I think Tank has the better skill set. I just think Tank was better than Ryan all around. And he completely took the left hook away.
I'm gonna say
he took the left hook away, bro. He just did.
Hey, Phil, I'm gonna say this. I just think
Hey, let's go ahead and get Rollo in here because he just joined, and Rollo can speak his little piece, and we can cook back and forth because.
Oh, we do got somebody else in here.
Yeah, Rollo joined in. I think he absolutely exploited his chin, but we'll rotate around and try to work this out. So go ahead, Rollo. What you got to say, man? What's up, bro?
What up, boys? So
What's up, man?
I'm gonna say, and watching this joint, I will agree with Phil that the best chance for Ryan to win the fight was to almost make it a stinker. And in that second round, when I see him getting aggressive and shit, I'm screaming at the TV like, "Motherfucker, stop! You won the round. You seen what he did the first round. He ain't gonna do shit. You won the round. Just sit back, chill the fuck out, and try and repeat this shit in the third round." But this motherfucker, I don't know if he thought he was gonna get a knockout, but he really wasn't landing shit. So I didn't understand what the aggression was about. Sure enough, his ass ran into something. I said, you know what? It's over. You know what I'm saying? Tank done stole the momentum. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? So his one chance to win was to do a 12-round stinker, and he couldn't even stick to that. You know what I'm saying? So literally the flaws that Ryan Garcia has, it takes a special kind of fighter to exploit those because Ryan does still have, you know, like we said, good speed and shit. And Tank is one of those guys who was able to capitalize off the mistakes that he makes and his fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? But I have to say that Tank must be one of these special punchers in boxing because I will also agree with Phil. He didn't connect that much. It was just that the few punches he connected with seemed to have had fucking mega damage. Like, you know, if the motherfucker landed 17 punches in the whole fight, he put the motherfucker down with 2 of them.
So,
I don't know, man.
So my position on it is, just to recap, I kind of already knew that Tank is an explosive puncher. He just got that uncanny power. And when we were speaking on this before on the previous podcast with Blood, I said one of the things we're going to have to watch out for is his accuracy combined with his power. And I specifically said, this guy ain't Deontay Wilder. He's not wild and tacky and sloppy. He's also not a mere clown who's wild, sloppy, with a lack of power. This guy's the opposite of both of those, and that's what's going to make him most dangerous. An accurate power puncher that has patience, the ability to put you on your back foot and slow your ass all the way down and counter. How my boy Rollo say, slow down, just slow down, slow down. When I saw him slowing down, I could think of your ass. He was really slowing down, you know. So I think he exploited every weakness that Ryan Garcia had.
Yeah, and you know I was screaming that shit.
he touched into that chin. One of the concerns going into the fight was his chin, and it was up in the air because Tank could have not hit it and fucked up and got neutralized, but he hit him in the chin. He exploited the fact that it was in the air. He accumulated, well, he apparently didn't accumulate no points according to the goddamn judges. They was finna do some nasty shit. I don't know how you don't have it a 10-8 round. So
yeah, I didn't like that neither when I saw that. They had a 10-9 round. I get Ryan was winning the round and Tank got the knockdown, but come on, man. A knockdown.
Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you something. See, this is the thing right here. I actually think they gave that round shouldn't have been a 10-10 round. This is what I will say. But a 10-9 round, I probably would have gave it a 10-9 round too. Because again, Tank threw how many punches that round? Maybe 10, 12 punches, and he didn't really land anything. So if Ryan Garcia did most of the work that round, he was you know, he landed some good punches on Tank that round. I mean, I don't think it was nothing that hurt Tank or made him feel like he was going to be in any kind of danger.
Phil.
I think that should have been a 10-9 round. Honestly.
Hey, Phil, I watched the fight 3 times now. He hurt Tank in that second round. He did. I
don't know if he hurt him or not, but what I can say is I did know that Ryan did majority of the work the second round, and he did land some punches on Tank. Now whether he hurt him or not is irrelevant to the fact that Tank still was able to get his shot in, right? So if he was hurt, I don't think he was so hurt to where he couldn't drop him like he did. I mean, Tank obviously won the round. I think the 10-10 round was bullshit, but the 10-9 round, I'm sitting here and I told my homies, I said I can guarantee you they're gonna score that 10-9 round because Tank inactivity during that round and landing that one shot, I don't know if that's gonna get him to 10-8.
At any time you complaining to the referee because you're getting some shit thrown at you and you're trying to put the referee in your way, yeah, you got hit by something, man.
So for me,
that bothered you.
Yeah, he Ryan got hit. Ryan got hit with some shit. I don't think Tank did. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Ryan, we know Ryan got hit with some shit. I'm telling you.
Exactly. That's my point. We know Ryan. We guessing with if Tank got hurt. We know Ryan ass got put on that can. We ain't got to guess about that. We ain't got to guess.
Behind the referee. That's how I know.
Nah, yeah. We ain't got to guess though. We ain't got to guess. We know we saw what happened, so we ain't got to assume nothing.
Right. So I think 10-8 round, just from what I had saw, regardless of how you scored a 10-10 for whatever reason, or 10-9 or 10-8, I had it 10-8 for Tank because he clearly did the most damage and put the nigga on his pockets, and those are worth points. So with that being said, I feel like he just exploited every weakness that Garcia had. He exploited his over insertion of himself. He fought him forward. He fought him backwards. He started spinning them, giving them some angles. Was his volume there? No, he didn't just unleash a whole bunch of volume on Garcia. Was his accuracy there? Yes. Was his power there to the head, into the body? Yes. Did he get the stoppage? Absolutely. So I didn't have Ryan Garcia winning any round except for what it was, I think, one. I think Tank had absolute control.
I gave him the 6th round. I gave him 2 rounds. I can see that. But I gave him 1, and that was the first one. He looked pretty sharp, pretty good. The second one, Tank absolutely sapped the whole momentum out of the atmosphere. I didn't see 3 strategies coming from your boy Garcia. I didn't see 3 strategies. So I think he got undressed completely. I think he got exposed on all levels. To me, from what I saw.
Yeah, Tank. I'm gonna tell you, Zone. I pretty much Steve Fallhood. I actually think sometimes he be bullshit, but I think he scored that fight properly. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first time I ever.
I think his card. Yeah, I think his card, because me and him had the same exact card. You know what I mean? So
it should be bullshit a lot.
Yeah, we had the same exact card. You understand what I'm saying? So, but the judges, all 3 judges had Tank winning the fight. So I don't think they was going to do Tank dirty.
No, they
all
had
3 judges
though. Steve
Yeah, they had. Yeah. All the judges had Tank winning the fight. It's just that some of the motherfuckers with the 10-10 and the 10-9, because motherfuckers who really don't know boxing was really confused about that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. They was like, huh? What? That's supposed to be 10-8. I thought knockdowns automatically 10-8. I say, nah, man, them niggas really can do whatever the fuck they want to do with them scorecards, man. You know what I'm saying? But Fallhood, man, he had it scored right, man. The same round that I gave Garcia 2 rounds. That first and that 6th round, but outside,
he gave him the same rounds I gave him.
Yeah, same shit Fallhood gave him. But like I said, man, it is what it is, man. Ryan Garcia is going to realize that, man. I really need to work on some shit, because this the thing right here. Do I think Ryan Garcia is done? Absolutely not. But this is the kicker right here. Everybody who is in or around him right now are slick, good-footed guys. Okay, obviously, Tank being the one with the power. I don't think Shakur and all those guys are real powerful. I think they may have some good pop in a punch, but obviously Tank has a generational power. He's gonna have to get his footwork together, because those guys are going to outclass him, and they're all right there with one another. They're gonna grow together, man. And if you can't fix that
Take the oldest out of
piece,
all of them too. So you're right.
yeah, take the oldest. Yes, if you can't fix that piece of your toolbox, if you can't get that tool in there, I don't see him beating any of those guys. You know, he may have a better chance against those guys because, you know, maybe the knockout won't be there, but all those guys are just going to really outclass him when it comes to the footwork department. Like, you know, Big Hill was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is going to be a problem. It has been a problem, and it's going to be a problem in the future. So, I mean, yeah, man, absolutely, man. So
Phil, I got a question for you, man. So we know who you think in the lightweight division. Because I already said one person's name. I just wanted to see if you think of what I'm thinking. In the lightweight division, that's going to give Tank the most problem because they got great footwork. They're polished as a boxer, and they got power. And they left-handed just like Tank.
Yeah, I mean, this is my thing. I'm a Shakur guy. So for me personally, I've been following Shakur since the Olympics. I've always thought he was ahead of his time. Just the way he fights, his patience, his experience. I mean, you wouldn't know that this guy really hadn't been a professional that long, right? I mean, he's accomplished tall tasks in a very short amount of time, and he's coming into the division, and it's not like he's trying to chill. He's coming into the division like, yo, give me that work with whoever y'all think the best guy is. I mean, he told Devin Haney, hey, look, you know, man, hey, fuck Lomachenko, fight me. You know what I'm saying? Fight me. What you want to fight Lomachenko for? Yeah, Lomachenko on his way out. I get it. You want to get your get back, but
Devin Daddy on the podcast, and they was going.
Yeah, I know you want to get your get back, but you know, because he didn't fight you early on. But man, nah, you need to be getting in there with me. You know what I'm saying? And he want to fight Tank. You know, and Shakur is the kind of guy that, you know, he respects all those guys. Even after the fight, he say, man, I ain't gonna lie, that boy Tank look sharp. We gonna have to come with it if we fight him. You know, talking about him and the other guys in the division. You know what I'm saying? And as a fighter, when you recognize things like that, obviously, you know, that speaks to your maturity. And you know, when you get in the ring with Tank, you're gonna have to really let them things hang. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you got power like that, I don't give a damn how defensive you are. And obviously, Shakur Stevenson is a great defensive fighter. If Tank hit that chin, it can be a problem for anybody. You know, so man, we'll see. I don't see anybody else. I like Devin. Devin's cool, and Devin will put that stick out there on your ass. He will jab the shit out you all fight. I get it, but I think that it's easy. I'm not gonna say easy. I think Tank possesses the skills to get around that jab. You know what I'm saying? So I see him stopping Devin Haney. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's stopping that kid.
I'm gonna say this, Phil.
Hold on, Hill. That's a good question posed to everybody. What you got? Get the smoking in, Rollo. You go ahead and speak your piece on it. If anybody can beat Tank, or is there some competitive fights within 135 that can give Tank some problems?
Frank Martin.
I think it's Devin and Shakur. Like, just anyone who can keep the fight long and won't exchange on the inside has an excellent chance of beating Tank, because he's really effective from, you know, let's call it mid and inside. From the outside, you know, Tank is kind of food. So yeah, if you're not willing to fight him from mid to if you can figure out how to not get into exchanges and firefights, and, you know, turn him and you know, take the sting off of his shots from the mid and the and up close, then you have an excellent chance of beating Tank.
Rollo,
he doesn't throw a lot of shots.
What you got, Rollo? Well, before he jump on or whatever, in between the time, I don't think nobody fucking with Tank. I just don't see it. I see each one of them having to get up off the canvas to do it. Every last one of them. If they gonna do it, it's gonna be because they are probably really hardcore outboxing and trying to undress Tank and frustrate Tank that way. But the eraser is he can stop you to the body, stop you to the head, or at least put you on the canvas to accumulate points. And he's very accurate. So I have to see somebody reduce his accuracy down, avoid his power, and sit there and be as patient as him, which is going to cause for a standstill in the action a lot of times during the fight. And you still got to worry about this man power, even if you get to the late rounds. So I just don't see it happening for any of one of those other guys that y'all might name.
Yeah, I mean, Tank is a good. I think Tank is a good shot, a good pick to beat everybody. But yeah, these guys who are more defensively sound and responsible than Ryan Garcia and all this stuff.
So y'all name the
able to
obvious who's
able to defend against power shots. Yeah, I think Tank's his efficacy goes way down if you're not exchanging with him.
Yeah, man, y'all name the who's name. Like y'all name the obvious man. Y'all name Shakur and Devin, right? Given that they don't got no pop, and
nobody said Devin.
No, somebody did say Devin.
No, I said that I think both. I think all those fights are 50-50. If you pick if whoever you pick in those fights, I think is a fair pick. I just can see that they have the attributes and the style and the IQ in order to offset what Tank does well.
In order,
I'm Shakur. Yeah.
In order to beat Tank, you have to. And I told Coach K this. When me and him first got on. In order to beat Tank, you gotta have some power coming back to hurt him. And it's only one person that's in that lightweight division that got punching power and skill set to hurt him. And that's Frank Martin. And him and Frank Martin, that's who was been sparring with. He was sparring with, getting ready for Ryan and stuff. So I do know that Frank Martin was getting the best of him in sparring and stuff. But again, that's sparring. But in the same sense, though, if y'all go watch Frank Martin fights, he's left-handed just like Tank. He has power and he has a skill set that is pretty goddamn good. He don't get touched, but he got power, something that Devin and Shakur don't have.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about defense, Shakur probably got the best defense out of all of them. I love watching Shakur fight, but he does not have no power, man. And like I was telling Zone, I think Tank will like walk through all his shit just to get his one off and hurt him.
Here, let me ask you a question real quick. Who would you pick in the Tank Garcia fight?
Man, I picked Garcia.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey.
Okay. Hey, man.
Phil, you trying to be funny?
Nah. Look. What I'm saying. Hey, look. What I'm saying. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just, putting it out there that, that power. Look, power is only good if you can hurt the motherfucker and you more powerful than the person you fighting. Like this is the thing. So this the thing right here.
I did give.
Yeah, this the thing.
I did name all of Ryan flaws and did say if Ryan didn't correct those flaws, he would lose. I did say that. So it ain't like
Yeah, but I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if Ryan Garcia got power. He couldn't, because guess what? I don't think he hurt Tank at all. When Tank said at the end of the fight, he said, I never was hurt at any point in time or felt like I was in danger at any point in time. I believe him because I watched the fight. So this is the thing right here. I think Tank could take a shot. You understand what I'm saying? But let's not act like his Tank's most competitive fight was against Pitbull Cruz. Okay? That was his most competitive fight. Pitbull Cruz ain't got no hell of a footwork. You know what I'm saying? The way he was able to neutralize Tank was to not let Tank be methodical and calculate him throughout the fight. He just stayed on his ass all fight. He just stayed on top of him all fight. So my deal is just right here. Anytime you getting into posturing with Tank, and at some point in time during that posturing, you want to decide you want to trade with this motherfucker, you probably behind the motherfucking 8 ball. I don't think that's a good idea. Either you jump on his ass, okay, and keep him and keep him on the back foot, okay, or you outbox him. and you make it a snooze fest, and you make him have to come to you, and you make him have to throw his shots. That's the only couple ways you can beat him. We all knew Ryan wasn't going to try to smother the guy. You seen what happened to him. His skill set is not that kind of smothering skill set. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we didn't even notice how horrible Pitbull Cruz's footwork was because he was on top of Tank ass the whole fight. Tank couldn't turn him and spin him and all of that because he wasn't doing no fucking posturing. So I get the Frank Martin thing, man. You know, and the kid can't fight. He does have power, but nah. First, he really got to show me the real for me to even really bring his name up. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that he's not good, but he's way on the back. He's way on the back of the line.
Said something earlier that I agree with, and I agree with Get the Smoke. He said that he's tired of seeing Tank fight people that don't got footwork. He said that earlier, so I agree with him on that. And you have to fight somebody that got great footwork, and I just named somebody who got great footwork just as well as y'all did. But the difference between the person I named is he got more power than Shakur and Devin.
Yeah, the other thing is, Tank he hasn't fought very many southpaws like himself. So when it comes to the close stance, he also has that kind of advantage. But I think Frank Martin does get hit. I saw Jackson Martinez on 8 days' notice put some wonderful hands on Frank Martin, and I don't think
knocked out.
And that's my point right there, Smoke. Like this is the thing. Anybody, because look, the footwork and the power is not gonna get you there alone. It's just not. It's just not. It's just like the shit with Deontay Wilder. You can have better footwork than him. You can be better technically than him. You can be all of this shit. But if your chin ain't made of that shit Wolverine got in his body, it's a wrap, man. So I'm just saying.
The thing is, though, that like Tank has been eating off of guys who are super aggressive, right? Like he's the other thing. I think we all touched on that. Frank, that Tank is also easily frustrated. He's like whatever it is, he's not locked in. He starts complaining to the ref. If you are able to frustrate this dude, tie him up, don't let him work don't let him work in the spots that he wants to work at. Let him keep having to break the plane, then get tired up, reset and all that shit. Like a few rounds of that shit, I can see check.
You explaining Pitbull Cruz right now. That's what you explain. You explaining Pitbull Cruz.
Well, no, I'm explaining an aspect of Pitbull Cruz. What I'm saying is, if you get what Pitbull Cruz didn't have was an outside game. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Shakur and Devin have the ability to score points on the outside and then not and frustrate him on the inside and mid range.
Pitbull Cruz is the only fighter that Tank was bigger than. Tank not used to fight people smaller than him. That's why Pitbull Cruz was able to frustrate him because he couldn't. Tank is used to punching up, not punching down. So you got to look at that too. Pitbull Cruz is 5'3". Tank is 5'6". He's not used to fighting nobody smaller than him. That's why I think Pitbull Cruz was so effective, is because Tank wasn't used to throwing punches down. You got to remember, that fight was a fill-in for a Raleigh fight because Raleigh had that sexual shit going on. So that dude came in at the last minute, and he wasn't used to punching down. So I'm not going to say Pitbull Cruz is that effective. I just think Tank ain't have enough time to prepare to fight Pitbull Cruz.
Well, let me say this right here. Let me say this right here about the Pitbull Cruz thing. Tank said, "I'm not fighting that motherfucker again. Fuck y'all." That's what he said.
He did.
He say, "Hell nah, hell nah." He said, "We're too close for comfort, man. I'm not fighting him again. Fuck that. I done beat him once. Hey, he got his shot. He didn't seize the opportunity. I'm moving on to this other shit. Why the fuck would I ever fight Pitbull Cruz again? This motherfucker just gave me the toughest fight of my life." It's you know what I mean? It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get them fights like that to where you say, "Nah, I'm not fighting that guy again. He should have beat me when he had the chance." And that's the Pitbull Cruz thing, man. You know, I get it, man.
How y'all think this pay-per-view did?
I think it did at least $500K.
I think it did more than that because they was already at 250 before on Thursday. I think it did
I mean,
more.
I think it did. Low end to me, 500. Low end 500. I think. The problem was if you had the zone in the UK, and I think it was some other country, you got to watch the fight for free. Through the zone app.
Yeah, I got the zone app, but that's a goddamn lie because that shit was $84.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in a few countries, if you had the DAZN app, the UK being one of the countries, if you had the DAZN app, you watched the fight for free. They didn't charge you
that's
for
dirty as fuck that they did that though.
Yeah, but we also aren't paying we're not paying pay-per-view prices for no damn Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury and shit. We just watch this shit.
Yeah, you right, but we do pay for Tyson Fury shit because he's not really with the zone, so we do pay for Tyson Fury.
I think wasn't the Dylan White on ESPN Plus? It's like that, if you just had the app, it was part of that shit.
Yeah, the Dylan White was not
that shit anyway, man. Dylan White.
Shit, man, I'm watching Gypsy King anytime he get in there with somebody that supposedly he's supposed to be ducking and he don't want to fight. I'm watching that shit, and nobody can beat the Gypsy King anyway. So let's just get off the bullshit.
Man, I guess not when you outweigh people by 60 pounds.
Ain't no excuses.
Man, come on, man.
They need to put a rehydration clause on that motherfucker. He outweighing people by 40 and 50 pounds. Put a rehydration clause on him. Goddamn.
Oh, and let me comment on that. I meant to speak on that rehydration shit earlier. Look, man, this the thing right here. Rehydration clause or not, whether you weigh 10 pounds more or fucking 35 pounds more, your internal organs are the same. Okay? And the nigga liver, you know what I'm saying, got busted up, busted open. And hold on. His liver, he had the same liver. Okay. He would have got hit with the same shot at some point in time during the fight. Even if he would have been 15 pounds or 20 pounds over, I don't think it would have mattered. So I know a lot of people giving Tank a hard time about the rehydration shit, but at the end of the day, he stopped the motherfucker. He went in there, he beat him, he stopped him, and it's nobody's fault but Ryan Garcia for agreeing to everything. The motherfucker could have said no. He said yes because he was confident that he was going to beat Tank, and he found out the 7th round that he done lost his fucking mind. This nigga really thumping, and I shouldn't have gotten in here with this damn fool. So that's Ryan Garcia's fault. I don't give a fuck about the rehydration clause. Nobody, you don't got it.
The part where it's Tank's fault is that it looked like he can't beat Ryan Garcia unless he has this shit in there.
Nah, man, it ain't about him beating him. That's what y'all not understanding. See, now when Tank Davis coming to these negotiations in these fights, and he's the A side,
man,
he's the A side. Like Leonard Ellaby told him. And this the thing with Oscar De La Hoya. He told him to his face, we the A side. Oscar, you know how the A side do it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. A side covers a lot of things, but it doesn't cover certain things. It doesn't cover. It doesn't cover the fact that now it looks like Tank can't beat Ryan Garcia unless he has weight clause stipulations.
Man, nobody is going to say that Tank doesn't beat Ryan Garcia because of weight clause. Shit. Nobody's going to say that because everybody I've heard that's a real boxing fan that's not fanboying off of Ryan Garcia said, man, he would have beat the motherfucker if he was 200 pounds. That's just what I'm saying. It didn't matter. Everybody I'm saying is saying that the weight really didn't matter because Tank was that much better than him.
Of course, Phil, it didn't matter. But what he's trying to tell you is people are going to say it. Regardless if you said it didn't matter, people are going to say it. And like I told Zone, I will give it like a week or two, Ryan gonna say it. But here's the science behind all of that, since y'all saying it don't matter. When you get dehydrated, your body rehydrates from the feet all the way up. The last thing to get rehydrated is your upper organs, like your brain and stuff. So, like I said, we don't know how he rehydrated. I ain't making no excuse for him, because like you said, his dumb ass the one who took the goddamn fucking fight and signed for it. So I can't fucking justify that for him, but I do know the science behind rehydration. It starts from the feet all the way up when you start rehydrating after you cut weight. So if he ain't have proper water in his body, it's gonna be easy to knock him out. Those are facts. That's the science behind it, Phil. But like you said, he was the dumb motherfucker that agreed to it. But that's the science behind it. So
this is the thing right here. I get the science behind it, and that's fine. That's cool. But honestly, the motherfucker had 10 pounds, bro. 10 pounds is more than sufficient enough. It's not like he told a nigga you got 5 pounds or you can't gain no weight between now and tomorrow. Like, it's not like he did that. So what I'm saying is, if I'm 135 pounds and I can rehydrate all the way up to 146, then 10 pounds is more than sufficient to put the fluids back in your body that you need. So I don't want to.
Now you walking around 170 pounds, 180 pounds.
Who walking around? Ryan Garcia walking around 180 pounds.
The issue is the detail that you have to go into, the sophistication you need to have the argument, but and also the magnitude of the fight. This fight was so big that these kind of details are going to stick to it forever. Just like
no, it's not, because he got stopped.
Just like Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez. These things it's just going to be part of it now.
Rehydration clause. Floyd, one of my favorite fighters. I ain't gonna let you do that. There was no rehydration clause.
No, it's just catch weight. I know. I'm just saying that these kind of details always are going to be part of the narratives of these fights for fight fans.
But go ahead, Zone. My bad, bro.
You got it. But with Canelo asked for that. Canelo,
100% agree. I'm just talking about the fact that it's still part of the fight. That's it.
It ain't a part of the fight. It's two ways it could be. Canelo versus Floyd ain't gonna be a part of the fight because your boy put his foot in his mouth. Just like the Pacquiao De La Hoya thing, people try to hate on Pacquiao about it, but De La Hoya put his foot in his mouth and controlled it. So Tank, it's a part of the fight, right? Let's make sure we clear on that. I understand that it's a talking point and that we know that it's a part of reality and that it is fact, right? I'm not saying that, but people forgive and forget and move the fuck on. The fact that
especially when you get stopped.
Exactly. That's right. Especially when and also when you talk about fans and people who want to like Tank, or in the case of Mayweather, want to like Mayweather. Mayweather fans and people who like Mayweather don't use those as excuses. They just know that Mayweather is undefeated. The same thing with Tank. We know the little nuances of it, but at the end of the day, it ain't gonna really matter because Ryan Garcia agreed to the contract, and really Ryan Garcia is a 135er between 140. So I don't really kind of know.
100%.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
Yep, that's what Tank said. Tank said, really, let's be real about it. Let's be honest about it. He really gave him 1 pound to fuck around with.
Really?
People not understanding. Sometimes that 1 pound is extremely hard to get off. So to me, if you coming in at a catch weight, okay, and it's higher than the weight class that you fight in, I don't understand what the fuck going on. Because guess what? If you fight with the IBF, you can't rehydrate no more than 10 pounds anyway, right or wrong. If you fight for undisputed, is that not the case?
I mean, hold
on. Is that not the case? Hold on. If you fight for undisputed, which every last one of these guys is going for undisputed, they want the Devin Haney fight. If you put that IBF on the line, you cannot rehydrate more than 10 pounds. Is that not the case?
It's the other way around, actually. It's the IBF. Only if you're fighting for the IBF. But as soon as you try to unify, that rule goes out. But that's for championship fights. Yeah, but this was not a championship fight. And then also it's for weight limits, not for catch weights. So like that whole thing's a little bit to the left. But to back it up, because as a fight, because it's two things, right? For me, Ryan Garcia is. I don't think he's a lightweight. That's the first part. I just don't think he's very good to compete at 140. So this is a perfect time for him to, get a cash out fight because he's going to get his ass whipped at 140. I don't think he can make 135. That's the one part of it. The other part of it, as a fight fan, though, not as a fight fan, as a Tank fan, I think he could beat fucking Ryan Garcia without it. And so for me, I'm not the one taking the shots. None of that shit. So if Tank feels like whatever, or Tank's handlers, whatever, they feel like that's the way to go, whatever. They just feel that way. But as a Tank fan, I would have loved for that to not be there, and because I think the same thing would have happened.
Me too. I would love.
I don't. Yeah, man. Ain't no real ones really gonna be talking about that shit because now Ryan Garcia then went in there and got stopped, and that's the end of it. You're done. I can understand if it would have went in there and it would have been a good fight. Then it'd been like, man, he was weight drained. And no, man, that shit was not a good fight. You got stopped and you pretty much got dominated. You won 2 rounds out of 7. Man, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. So anybody who want to defend that shit, I mean, I'm not finna debate you on that shit. I'm not finna discuss that with you because all I'm gonna say is his ass got stopped. And he signed the contract. Next question. Like, don't come to me complaining about some shit that you agreed to. You're a grown ass man.
Cool.
I could come up there with that bullshit.
For $25
I could come up there with that bullshit, man. Hey, come on, man.
That's why he agreed to it. $25 million. That's exactly why he agreed to it.
So
them boys got paid, man.
Exactly. So ain't nobody finna be, and he said that he was gonna beat Tank. Joe Goosen said he was gonna beat Tank. So yeah, I don't want to hear it. And he weighed in at 135.5. So do I think he can still make 135? I actually think he can. I think he can. You know what I'm saying?
He need to go
so
ahead and
really Tank, and if he can't make 135, Tank gave him an extra pound. Whoop-de-doo. He gave him an extra pound. So he helped him out then. If he can't make 135 and you get that man an extra pound, like, let's talk about it because there's 2 sides to it, bro. It really is. Man, I can't make 135. Okay, well, fuck it then. Can you make 136? Okay, well, yeah, we can agree to 136. That's fine. So look, bro, that's what it was. They both, the fight was a catch weight. You know what I'm saying? They fought at 140, technically speaking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just is what it is, man. Like, I don't see nobody coming out and
this wasn't the fight.
This my thing. This my thing. If people really thought the weight was gonna be a problem, they wouldn't have been picking Ryan Garcia to beat Tank. Big Hill, you pick Ryan Garcia to beat him. I don't want to hear nobody who's saying who picked him saying it's gonna be a problem. That's all I'm saying.
I never said it was gonna be a problem.
So what are we talking about?
I'm saying that what people been saying. I've been watching the rest of these YouTubers and podcasts on YouTube. And a lot of people bringing that shit up.
Well, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some Rollo, just to make sure he rotate in. I don't know if he's in. Rollo, what's your take on it, man? If you want to speak on it. On top of that,
I agree with Smoke, man.
Hold on, let me say this. Okay. Hype-Lo, man, you can jump in if you want to. Lisa, you can jump in if you want to. Hype-Lo, you're more than welcome to jump on if you like. All right. So go ahead, Rollo. You got the floor. Go ahead and cook.
I'm with them. Like, we all saying that Tank would have beat him anyway, but so what was the point of having a clause in there? That just makes it look like he needed an advantage. And the fact that it was in there makes it something to talk about. We ain't never talked about that clause that Canelo put in when he fought Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't exist. And that's just the real of it. Like, it's just a point of contention. And he just didn't even need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to me, Garcia fight at 35 and 40. They both transition between 35 and 40, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, I think it should have been at 135 or 40. But if it was going to be at 35, because that's what Tank said it was going to be at. I'm telling you that now. Tank said, I'm 35 and I want to fight Garcia at 35. Garcia and his team with the combination of Tank, came up with a catch weight to make the fight even happen, so we wouldn't have to deal with the fight not happening. So yes, Tank has fought at 140 before, of course, and Garcia floats between the both of the two divisions.
Well, his last two fights before this fight was at 140.
Right, and how long has he been inactive though?
Last time he fought was July last year, before last night.
And then before that, when did he fight?
Probably December 21.
Okay, so that's his own fault. I'm not negating the fact what you're speaking. You're right. The last two fights is at 40, but he floats between 35 and 40, and we don't get a good gauge on these guys because they're so inactive. I mean, maybe if he had taken years off, we don't know what could have been and shoulda, woulda, coulda. We just know that he agreed to the weight. So to me, when you agree to the weight, you're comfortable. And then a lot of guys selected him to win the fight, regardless of it. Most people would say, "Nah, I don't like the clause. 36 is not good for me. If it ain't 35 or 40, I'm out." So I don't understand what the issue is besides the fact that we're just not happy about catch weights. But your favorite fighter has done catch weights throughout their whole career. So I don't understand what's the big difference between it not being at 35 as opposed to.
You talking about my boy Floyd, man. Floyd, my favorite.
Yeah, look, but Zone, let me tell you what it's about. This is really what it boils down to. It boils down to the simple fact that I'm the A side and I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. If you want to fight me as bad as you say you want to fight me, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Because at the end of the day, this is what people don't understand right here. I'm a real one. If I can get a fucking advantage on you and I can elevate myself in the meantime and I ain't doing nothing illegal, then guess what? That's what the fuck I'm gonna do. Why have those privileges if you're not gonna use them? That's at the end of the day, if a motherfucker allows me to do something, then I'm gonna do it. Like, I ain't breaking no rules. You saying it's cool, you still want to fight me, then guess what? Put that motherfucker in there. Will it give me advantage? I don't know. Do I feel like it might give me advantage? Possibly. So, I mean, bro, exploit your A-side motherfucking privileges. Period. That's all I'm saying. So it really don't matter to me because he won the fight and he stopped the kid. That's the realness about it. It was about him flexing on him, dog. Flex, and guess what? When you got the muscles, that's what you do. You flex. Period.
Wallo, what you got? Wallo, you really cook on something.
Hey, Phil funny, man. I like Phil, man.
Wallo, yeah, man, that's some sucker shit, man. Because if you're supposed to be fighting a dude, you're supposed to be fighting a dude. They're supposed to be straight up. There don't supposed to be no advantage. And not saying that would have made a difference in the fight. It's not about whether it was going to make a difference in the fight. It's about the fact that it's a point of contention. Now it's just something that we fucking having a discussion about. We shouldn't even be having a discussion about it. And that was the whole point. Because if that thing didn't exist, we've never talked about, well, you know, fucking if Wilder would have let so-and-so come in at a certain weight, or Canelo, if he would have let Caleb Plant come in at a certain weight, we've never talked about that. It's just a point of contention, and he didn't need that. That's all it is.
I get that, but I'm not talking about it because I don't give a fuck about it. That's people that just want to talk about it because I've already seen the result.
I'm just saying
I don't want to talk about it. I don't get it.
I know you don't care.
I don't care that it exists.
I don't give a fuck either. I'm just saying because
I don't like catch weights.
It's a point of contention. That's just all of that. I think anybody on the phone is saying that it was just a point of contention that should not necessarily even been there. It doesn't help in any way for any fighter's legacy in a sense. Like it doesn't. Like nobody's gonna be like, Tank knocked him out and he had a hydration clause. You know what I'm saying? That's not, nobody's ever going to say that. You know
let me ask you something, Rollo. Let me ask you something. All right, you say that sucker shit, right? Okay, let me ask you something. All right. So we all historic guys, you know, me, you, Zone, we talk about history and everything. If you out fighting somebody, let's say you're a gladiator, right? and you in the Coliseum and you fighting this dude and you fall down and you pick up some sand and you hit him with the sand in the eyes. Is that some sucker shit, or are you out there trying to survive and win? I'm just curious because I don't think that's sucker shit. I think you really getting down and dirty and you doing what you got to do.
Yeah, listen.
I'm just asking.
No,
I'm just asking.
You can't compare a nigga fighting for his life and the nigga.
What you mean?
Listen. You can't compare a nigga fighting for his life and a nigga in a situation where it's an actual guy in there. To his whole duty is basically to make sure that the fight is fair and to protect you and the other guy from getting seriously hurt. That's a big ass difference.
Man, come on, but look, this is the thing right here, man. Let's not act like in the 80s and 90s, man, boys wasn't sending prostitutes up to the room to go have sex with the basketball players, poisoning their food. Bro, this is professional sports, man. It's all about game. They still went out there. They still played. This is foul. I'm saying it's foul.
No, dog. Listen, what I'm saying is you're making it as if we're making an excuse for it, and it's not an excuse. I'm saying that if you don't have to do that, don't do it, because then there's nothing for us to even discuss or talk about. Now, like you said, if a motherfucker did all that other shit you said, it'd be shit that we would end up having to talk about. If a nigga said, well, shit, last night, man, this chick showed up to my room and she said Tank Center. Then we would have to fucking talk about that shit. But we don't know. But what we do know is there was a catch weight and a rehydration clause that didn't have to be there.
Yeah, it didn't have to be there because I think Tank probably still the one to fight regardless.
Yeah, it did. And then Ryan Garcia didn't have to sign the paper.
You keep saying that he didn't have to sign up. You, Phil, we know that. We absolutely know that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't. Why? I don't understand how people. I don't understand how people defending something that it ain't more than the person who did it. Like, that's my thing. Why? Yeah. Look, let Ryan Garcia defend this rehydration clause shit because he signed it. He the one need to come out and say, "Man, I lost my goddamn mind. I should have never agreed to that shit." That's what he need to do. Like people who out here trying to say that it's the point of contention. The point, it really shouldn't be there, right? It's the point of contention, right? Yeah. It really shouldn't be a topic of conversation. My thing is this right here. I don't think it should be a topic of conversation because of the simple fact that Ryan Garcia agreed to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
See, y'all keep saying he agreed to it. We understand that he agreed to it. Nobody's disagreeing about it.
Let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
When you say point of contention, you're saying it does what? I know.
It's something for people. It's just something for people to talk about, just as we are doing now, which we didn't have to have if it was not there.
Okay, let's go around. We're gonna go around and get everybody's opinion. I'm talking about your opinion, not generalities. So, and I'm gonna ask you here too, and I'm gonna get smoke, and we'll come back to field. What are you saying is the point of contention based on you, Rollo Jenkins? You. What are you saying about it?
I'm saying when two guys fight, we already trying to make it as fair as possible. They already, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would there be any more added stipulations to a fight? Because it's one thing to have a catch weight. I don't remember a time where there was you got to make this weight and then you got to make another weight the next day. I just don't remember that. And it just didn't need to be there for us to even have to talk about this shit.
Okay, so
I feel like everybody else. I feel like Ryan probably would have lost anyway. But now the motherfucker has a little bit of excuse to say, well, shit, if I could have just rehydrated the way I usually do, maybe that shot don't hurt me.
Yeah.
And we can't never say that, well, shit, it would have, because nobody can never contest that. I mean, he got knocked out. We know that. Because Phil could clearly go back to the result of the fight. Right. We know that. But we shouldn't have to have a nigga to have an excuse built in. It's not needed. It's not necessary. But everybody you're gonna say, well, I don't care about that. I get it. But we don't say Canelo didn't have an excuse when he lost to Bivol.
Yeah,
he didn't say,
Rollo,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm asking you. You ain't got to tell me what everybody else gonna say because they gonna get to say it as we rotate.
I know. I've been saying it ain't much. It ain't nothing else to say. I said it. It's just a point of contention that we have in a fight that we don't normally have.
Okay,
I can't remember the last time we had to talk about some weight shit in a fight. Now, a nigga said some shit like, "Oh, the fucking costume weighed too much." Nigga, that's clearly your fault. But having some shit in the contract as a stipulation is a little different.
All right, what you got on to get the smoke?
For me, it says that I don't know what I think Tank beats him at 135 pounds. I don't know. Ryan looks like it at 135 pounds right now, but it seems to be. But Tank people didn't think that he could beat Ryan at 140 pounds without a catch weight and a rehydration clause. That's what it means to me. It just not too much.
Okay. And then here, what you really want to speak on about it, man? Because you picked Ryan Garcia.
I know you was gonna do this, man. I know.
I'm saying, hold on, you gotta listen to it all because it might not be what you think it is. You picked him, so I'm trying to understand. Even with that laid out, why did you pick him in spite of the weight stipulations?
I really thought that he was going to be able, because of his speed, he was going to be able to capitalize on Gervonta Davis' bad habits. And what happened was his bad habits was more greater than Gervonta Davis' bad habits, and his bad habits got exposed first before he can expose Gervonta Davis' bad habits. Now, I remember on Friday, I broke down Gervonta Davis' bad habits. I told you what his bad habits was, but Ryan Garcia couldn't expose his bad habits. He exposed Ryan Garcia's bad habits. So that was why I was picking Ryan, because I thought he was fast enough to exploit Gervonta Davis' bad habits. The catch weight shit, to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of it. I wish it was never in there, because I told y'all on Friday, if Tank win, that's going to be what everybody say. Instead of him, if he didn't have it and won, we wouldn't even be talking about it right now. So that's just my take on it, man.
All right, Big Zo, you in here, man. Go ahead and cook a little bit. And the question is about the weight stipulations within the contract. What's your opinion on that? Do you think it affected the fight? Not really. What's your thoughts on that, Big Zo?
Personally, what's up, y'all? What's up with y'all, man? These greats in this thing, man. I love to hear y'all, man. But personally, I said before the fight, to me, with the catch weight, honestly, niggas been fighting with catch weights forever. You feel what I'm saying? So we ain't really got to talk about the catch weight. You feel me? Because I feel like the fight would have been the same regardless. You know what I mean? The catch weight, it is what it is. We done see many people fight at catch weights.
Rehydration clause, big dog. Rehydration clause, not catch weight.
I mean, you right, the rehydration clause, but they was only allowed 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? They pretty much fight at the weight. You know what I mean? Like the weight that they walk around at, you feel me? Or a little bit greater, but still, you know what I mean? I like the catch weight is not a majority. I think I said Ryan Garcia from the beginning and looked drained to me. You know what I mean? Like he looked drained, like trying to make 135. Like I don't even think he could really make 135 no more. Because if he just looked drained on the scale to me. So Gervonta looked strong, you know what I mean? And I knew like the body punching was gonna be a effect in this fight, you know what I mean? So personally, I just thought it was a good fight. Ryan surprised me when he shook up Gervonta a little bit, you know what I mean? But he you know, he did what he could do. I felt like experience really just won that for Gervonta. Gervonta done seen too many different styles, so you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think Ryan Garcia had the pedigree to really get with him.
Well, that's a good take. A good take. So everybody now gave their little 2 cents in on it.
Oh, it's on me. It's on me.
Yeah, y'all rotate around. Let's see what comes.
Yeah, nah, it's on. It's on me. Nah. I'm gonna give it again though, because he raised the question, and I'm gonna give it again. All right. So the last time we had for a major fight that we had a catch weight that was actually discussed was Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs. Okay. That was the last major fight that we had, and that also was a title fight.
There's a rehydration.
Okay? Rehydration clause, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The rehydration clause, right?
Well, Kovalev was the last one.
Kovalev, but I'm not even. But he went up to fight at 175 pounds. But I get it. This is two guys that were in the same weight class, though. Basically, like these guys were last night. This is why I'm giving that comparison versus the Kovalev comparison, right? Because Canelo
moved up to 140.
Yeah, so nah, I mean he asked the man clearly. He said, aren't you a 135 pounder? Don't you want to fight against 135 pounders? You say you want to fight against me, you want to fight against Devin, you want to fight against Shakur. We all fight at 135. So are you a 135 pounder? He said, I'm fighting y'all, ain't I? Okay, well then that answers my question right there. So this is the deal right here. Like I said, the last rehydration clause that I know that I can remember that was a major fight was Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs. Okay, guess what Danny did? Danny said, "Fuck you," and the rehydration clause. I got the contract. It's signed. You ain't finna cancel the fight the day before. And guess what? On the day of, because he weighed in that morning, and he was above weight. He took his fine, and guess what? He still went in there and he lost. So this is my deal right here. If Ryan or anybody thought it was gonna be that big of a deal, they could have Danny Jacobs the situation. They could have just said, "Nah, I ain't feeling this. I'm just gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna take my fine. I'm gonna take my fine or whatever, or my penalty, and I need to be my best self when I go in there." You know what I mean? So it's a lot of decisions that is made in regards to this catch weight. Okay, the first one being that you agreed to it. The second one being that you wanted to maintain the agreements on the contract. You didn't want to take your penalty, and you stayed with underneath the weight. So, hey, look, bro, he could have said fuck it. I don't think he thought it was a big problem. So, but again, man, I don't know who's discussing this because it really ain't bothering me. What bothers me that it was at a catch weight in the first place. I don't care about the rehydration and all that other kind of shit because he told him, "Hey, I'll fight at 135. I give you 1 pound." So, and he gave Ryan 1 pound. So, bro, he stopped him because I'm always go back to the result. Everybody is saying that he beats him no matter what weight he's at, and he flexed on him. That is what it is. So now, when you come negotiate with Tank Davis, Al Heyman, Mayweather Promotions, you already know we finna slide some shit on in here if you want that work. That's just what it is. You setting up a pattern of shit that you're gonna be doing in the future when it comes to these mega fights, because there's several mega fights that's left out there for Tank Davis, right? So you setting a standard when it comes to you in negotiating, especially if you the A side. I'm just keeping it all the way gangster with y'all boys, man. I don't think it matters at all. It is what it is. Tank stopped him. That's the end of the story. Anybody that want to talk about that, let Ryan Garcia defend that shit. We don't need people to defend somebody that put themselves in that position in the first place. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
wait.
Actually, we should, because as fight fans, we shouldn't leave it up to these guys because we see what they're gonna do. For me, man, I don't think it should be in the sport. Like, it's not just a catch weight, and it's not just a rehydration clause. It's a both things, right? Like, I don't like catch weights and rehydration clause because you're A side. A side can go a long way, but for me, I just can't. I don't rock with it. Like, it is what it is. I wish it wasn't there because I don't think it should be there. I also think he would have won without it, but I don't think he should have been there even if he couldn't win without it. If you can't beat the dude at 140, then don't fight him at 140. If he can't make 135, like he said he can't make 135, and he hasn't fought at 135 since he said it, then don't fight the dude. But if you're just trying to get your money on, and like I'm just supposed to turn a blind eye because one guy has an advantage and the other guy has a disadvantage and trying to make a fight, that's just not good enough for me. I don't need like competitive disadvantages is contractually put in there. Like whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, don't call out 135 pounders if you fight at 140. We can solve that very easily. If I fight at 140, let me call out somebody to fight at 140. He's been calling out Tank Davis. He's been calling out Tank Davis for 2 years, bro. He's been calling out Tank Davis for 2 years. So let's be all the way G with it. When he was calling Tank Davis out, he was fighting at 135 pounds. He wasn't fighting at 140.
Yep.
Phil.
Yeah, correct.
Phil,
that's the thing. You take two to tango. I'm not trying to absolve whatever culpability Ryan Garcia has for having the situation. I agree with you. But compete at the weight class, and if you're not very good at 140, go get starched at 140. I'm just saying, if you're gonna make the fight, and it's two guys, because it's not like Ryan Garcia said, I want to put a catch weight in there. It's not like Ryan Garcia said, I want to fight you at 136. He said, I want to fight you at 140. Then he said, I'll fight you at 138. They settled on 136 because whatever. Yeah, he's not the A side, but that doesn't absolve Tank just because Ryan is also bullshit.
Right. And Phil, like you keep
it does absolve him because if I fight at 35 and you want to fight me, you need to come and fight me at my weight.
But he didn't fight him at 135 though.
Yeah, but because guess what? He gave him some grace. So Ryan Garcia need to be grateful that he allowed him to manage. Right. He allowed him the 1 pound. Period. Right.
Allowed the 1 pound. So Ryan Garcia should be grateful that Tank Davis can make a gazillion fucking dollars off of some weight drain. Whatever. Some dude is not very good, and I'm supposed to turn a blind eye with catch weights and rehydration clause off a guy who's not very good.
Yeah, because guess what?
Ryan Garcia is full of shit. Because
Tank could have easily said, I fight at 135. I'm not fighting you unless it's at 135. He could have said that, bro. He told him, I'm a 135 pound fighter. That's where I fight at. That's my weight class now. Guess what? Either you respect it or you don't. He could have big man him and said, I'm not giving you a fucking pound. I'm not giving you a tenth of a pound. Either you below 135 or fuck the fight.
It's not like it's a charity case, bro. It's not like he's giving right.
That's what y'all making it though.
Hold up a second.
Y'all making it a charity case.
Hold up a second. This is a business opportunity for Tank Davis. It's not just like, oh, Ryan Garcia says he wants to fight me, so now jump through a bunch of hoops because I'm only making $5 on this fight. Tank Davis made a killing off this fight.
So Ryan didn't?
No, compared to Tank Davis, hell no, he didn't. Maybe Oscar De La Hoya did.
So Ryan Garcia didn't get a multi-million-dollar payday.
You know what I'm trying to tell you is this whole thing about
this. That's just a simple question. Hold on. I'm asking you a simple question because you brought the money into it. You said Tank Davis made $1 gazillion. Did Ryan Garcia also have a multi-million-dollar payday and he will get paid on the back end on pay-per-view? Yes or no?
I have no idea what Ryan Garcia is going to end up with. What I'm trying to explain to you is that was a dream.
You know what Tank will end up with?
Finish my thing. Can I just finish my thought?
You know what Tank will end up with? Before you move on to another.
Hold on a second.
Before you move on to something else.
That would not happen.
I get it.
But you don't. How are you going to get it if I haven't even said it?
Hey,
like this, all I'm saying to you is what
smoke. Stop for a minute. Phil, y'all can't keep talking over each other, dog. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody gonna get a point out, if you got something to contest on it, you gotta let them get the shit out first.
Yeah, Phil, you gotta let the man get it out because I'm trying to see where he's going with it. Yeah, go ahead. Y'all do your thing.
Yeah, all I'm saying
don't move over. Don't move. You brought the money up. So what I'm saying is, if you bring up a point from one side, Smoke, let's not act like Ryan Garcia didn't get the payday as well. You said like you're making it seem like he went there and fought for free.
Bro, you're going off on something and you're misunderstanding what I'm saying to you.
I'm definitely misunderstanding.
Jim Gray,
I don't know what the money got to do with.
Can I get it out, bro? Jim Gray said GTD Promotions at the beginning of this fight. There was no Ryan Garcia Promotions. It was GTD Promotions. That's what I'm trying to say to you. This dude was in a completely different stratosphere when it came to this being a financial opportunity.
So, this is what I'm saying. This is what you're misunderstanding right here, Smoke. What the fuck does the money got to do with the rehydration and the catch weight? Just curious.
Right. The reason why, right?
How does that? And this is what I'm trying to ask you. How does that have anything to do with the actual fight?
I'll tell you because like you said, Tank Davis said I only fight at 135 pounds, but Tank Davis didn't fight at 135 pounds. Tank Davis was willing to not fight at 135 pounds. Why? Because it was a financial opportunity.
All right, somebody got a bad background.
Yeah, if you ain't on,
mute when you're not conversating, mute yourself so we can get the clarity.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying right here, though. Get the smoke, bro. Ryan Garcia, regardless, catch weight, rehydration is irrelevant. Money is irrelevant to the fact that Ryan Garcia signed the fight. When you talk about the opportunity to make money, both of these guys had seen an opportunity to make money on this fight. Ryan Garcia is the one that pursued Tank. Okay? Ryan Garcia has been calling Tank out for the longest. Okay? For the longest. He pursued him. He said Tank was ducking him. He said all this other kind of shit. Tank don't want to fight me. They doing everything they can not to make this fight happen. And guess what? The fight happened. Okay? Under whatever stipulations that Ryan Garcia agreed to and Tank Davis' team agreed to. I don't think the amount of money should even be a talking point of the outcome, because the amount of money you get doesn't determine the outcome. It just don't. It just don't. So at the end of the day, I don't see what financials have to do with this particular discussion right here, because we're talking about how catch weights and rehydration clause can affect a fighter or affect the perception of a fighter's victory or loss. Okay? So my deal is this right here. Like I said it before, if you're a grown ass man, you make your own decisions and you agree to go in there and fight at 136 and you got a 10-pound rehydration clause and you also agree to that and you still say you're going to stop a motherfucker, but you get your shit, you need to get surgery on your liver after the fight, then guess what? That's your fault. I don't even see why it's even a point of contention, because guess what? If two motherfuckers get in there and they fight, they saying, hey, look, when I get in there, no excuses. I'm getting in here because I believe I can beat you with whatever the fuck you put on the table because I'm that much better than you. That's what that means. Because if I'm going into a fight and I don't think I'm going to be able to win because of a 10-pound rehydration clause, or it's not at the weight that I want to fight at, then guess what? I'm going to just say fuck it. And I'm not going to take the fight. You know, Ryan Garcia pursued this because it was a payday for him. Tank getting bread.
So we closing this one down. Not the chat, I'm saying the subject matter. We pretty much got everybody understanding because he really stopped them, put them on the highlight reel. Let's move this thing around and kind of cook on some of this other stuff. Far as right, one, everybody close it up with where you think Tank next move should be, or where you think it's gonna be. Does it move him up the pound for pound list? And let's get to the alleged Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford fight being in discussion as well.
Oh yeah. We could do that.
Hey, and zone. Let me add another one in there. Tyson Fury and Andy Ruiz as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's another one.
That's official.
Dang.
Wait. You said it's official?
They saying that they're gonna fight, and I believe it's either June or July. I want to say.
And they said the Andrade and Charlo fight is official too. They're making a date. They in negotiation. Charlo said it on his video.
Now, Rollo, hold on. Let everybody know how Rollo think. Rollo ain't nothing official until the first ring. In the ring. We know how you do, Rollo. So we just saying these are
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, is anything listed on BoxRec? Like, is it that far yet? Because you know me, I'm how skeptical I am, but
Well, I think that Android. I don't know if that Android. I don't think it's listed yet.
okay.
Nah, none of those fights are listed on BoxRec yet.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I put it in the chat though. The Tyson Fury, the private chat, Rollo, the article on the Tyson Fury and the Andy Ruiz that they agree to terms and they trying to set a date, and I think it's either June or July to fight one another.
Yeah. Do that for me.
Yeah, Charlo
It's in the chat already.
Okay.
Charlo just had the interview on Fight Hype about him and Demetrius Andrade. They're making that happen. That's what he said. He said, you heard it here first. You know what I mean?
So which one we gonna start with first, Zone?
Charlo. You dropped the Charlo, and Phil, you dropped the Tyson Fury. So what you got on that? Who you got? I got Charlo whooping his ass.
Well, hold on. I want to start on the Tank first.
Oh yeah, let's close the Tank out. All right, that's cool.
Yeah, I think Tank should just dive into the Haney fight. That need to be the next fight after Lomachenko. That's if Devin Haney could get past Lomachenko. But like I said, I think that's the next fight. It's time to put all the naysayers to bed. Big fact, you ain't no little dude in the sport no more. It's time to run it up. You know what I mean?
Feel like I'm dehydrated too. Like I ain't feel like.
That's my part on Tank.
My bad, y'all.
And go ahead. What you got on it? Jamal and Andrade. It is Jamal, right? Jamal versus Andrade, correct?
Yeah.
What you got on that?
I got that. I got Jamal losing. I got Boo Boo taking him out, but not necessarily knocking him out, but beating him by decision, because Boo Boo is an underrated boxer puncher, and sometimes he had the power to drop you 4 times in a fight. Also, he can knock you out, but we ain't seen a knockout in a minute from him. But he a dangerous, slick southpaw. Well, he fight both ways too, but I think Jamal Charlo done lost a step. And he ain't had a knockout in quite some time, you know what I mean? And I think that was the edge that Jamal Charlo, he's a pretty straight up and down fighter. And Boo Boo gonna move around and punch from angles that I don't think Jamal gonna see coming. So that's my take on that fight.
What you got on the field? A proposed fight between Andrade and Maul.
I think both of these guys need this particular fight because neither one of them ain't been doing shit. Both of them been inactive. Obviously, Charlo's been way more inactive than Andrade. I've always picked Maul, so I'm still roll with Maul. Although I would like to see him get in the ring to see what he has, but I think, man, his skill set, I think he's just better than Andrade all around. People saying you may say Maul has lost a step, but last time I just seen Andrade a couple months ago, man, he wasn't looking like no spring chicken. You dig what I'm saying? So look, man, I don't think a lot of people say Andrade has he's underrated as a boxer, puncher, and all this other kind of shit, man. Let's be all the way gangster with it, man. That boy sloppy. He in there doing anything. He ain't fought nobody worth even talking about. He ain't done shit. He keep on pulling out of fights. He canceled on Zach Parker twice. Come on, man. I've never been a believer in Andrade at all. And I'm not gonna start believing in the cat right now, especially if he's fighting against Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that I know is a heavy puncher, does have real good fundamentals, is a defensively sound fighter, and to me, just got a better raw team and trainer and everything, man. So I got him. I'm gonna pick Maul to beat Andrade. Tank, as far As far as Tank, next move, I think he needs to just kind of, chill and wait to see how this thing, how this plan lanes. You know what I'm saying? And then board the next flight to Legacy. You dig what I'm saying? Because at this point, good thing about Tank is all of his Legacy fights right now at 135 are going to be paydays as well, right? So we don't have to worry about that aspect of the money portion of it, right? So that's a good thing. And these guys that are left for Tank to fight are also elite guys, like the Lomachinkos, the Haneys, and the Shakurs, right? So I think he's in a good position. He just need to see what happens between this Haney and Lomachenko fight. And I mean, he's got the pick of the litter, man, especially after last night. Yeah, he's got the nobody ain't worried about Lopez. He fighting 140. So we ain't worried about him.
But Tank
and he said
140 sometimes.
Yeah, but Lopez ain't nobody really we're looking for Lopez like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want to see Tank in there with Lomachenko, Haney, or Shakur, that's just what.
Yeah, I agree.
Before y'all cook into it, before y'all really snatch, keep going. But just let me let the audience know this. Hey, just for y'all to know, I like to keep it on the time schedule. So we're gonna take this thing all the way to 4:00. That gives us a good solid 3 hours. So if you want to come on. We're gonna hold it down to 4:00. That way you know when this shit gonna end and you can go on about your day. So 4:00, that's another 30-something minutes. Finish doing what you're doing. Zo, go ahead and cook. Don't try to
last 10 minutes. All right. Yeah. So and just to so I think Tank is in a good position right now. Because he is right now, he's just coming off a real exciting victory against Ryan Garcia. So I mean, he's gonna have his pick, man. So he just need to just kind of chill and see what happens between all these other guys, and that'll be what's what. Because you never know, man. You might get in there and Haney and Loma may win. They may have a rematch clause or something in there, and then now we stuck out for another year with Tank Davis just sitting and waiting to see who he can fight next, right? So I think he just need to chill and see how that thing works, man, and then he can really pick from there. The Andy Ruiz, Tyson Fury. Come on, man. I mean, anybody that know me, man, I've been Team Gypsy King for a decade now. You know what I'm saying? At least a decade, right? Yeah, man. Andy Ruiz need to go sit his ass down, man. So that's exactly what's going to happen to him, whether he like it or not. The Gypsy King's going to stop this boy, man. Period. Andy Ruiz got a chin though, but I don't think he possessed the skill set to beat Tyson Fury, especially considering how Anthony Joshua just really boxed him at distance. It's too many different ways Tyson Fury can beat Andy Ruiz. One of them is boxing him at distance, and the other one is pulverizing him and punishing him and stopping his ass. So Andy Ruiz, go get your money, brother, but you're not finna beat Tyson Fury.
I got that a third round stop.
Listen, Zo, get it all out. You got the flow. High flow, you next, and then get the smoke. We'll rotate it like that. Go ahead and cook. So you got the flow now.
All right. With Tyson Fury, I got that as a wash. I got him knocking him out probably about third, fourth round. Because Tyson Fury got real good head movement, good footwork for a big man. You know what I mean? And I just don't see Andy Ruiz getting with that. Like, because he a straight up and down attack, fast puncher, but he'll have to have some serious timing to really affect, you know what I mean, Tyson Fury to me, especially after rising up like a dead man from Deontay Wilder in the first fight. You know what I mean? I just don't. That was the only person that I could have ever saw cause real problems for Tyson Fury in the heavyweight division. Everybody else, except for Alexander Usyk, I think that'll be a good fight. But personally, with Ruiz, I think it's a wrap. Done, daughter.
All right, High Flow, what you got on it?
Sorry, my StreamYard was acting up. What's the question?
On these proposed fights, and anything you want to include on the fight from last night, because I know you just jumped in here. You got the floor. Andy Ruiz versus Tyson Fury, proposed fight. Your thoughts?
Oh, man. That's a mismatch.
Andrade versus Maul Charlo as a proposed fight. What's your thoughts on that? And then you cook from there with everything else.
Well, Ruiz and Fury, to me, that's leading a lamb to the slaughter. There's no chance in hell Ruiz is going to beat Fury. Ruiz is all wrong. Fury's all wrong for Ruiz. He's too long, too fast. He can beat him in so many different ways. And, Andy's only chance is getting in close and using quick hands. And if he gets anywhere near Fury with those T-Rex arms, Fury's going to wrap him up, lean on him, walk him back, and throw uppercuts, sneaky uppercuts up the middle. He'll be out of there, bro. It's a bad fight for Ruiz. I would have rather seen Fury versus Zhang. That's like a monster movie, bro. That reminds me of like Godzilla versus King Kong. Just like two huge guys. At least there's a spectacle there. But I think Fury would dust him off as well. As far as Charlo versus Andrade, God, how long have we been talking about that fucking fight? Sure, I'd watch it at this point, but those fucking guys should have fought years ago. I would pick probably Charlo. I don't trust Andrade. I have a feeling he might shit the bed Ryan Garcia style in that fight. And as far as last night, we've all basically said the same thing. Ryan Tank did as well as I thought he would do. He's good. He's going to be tough to beat for anybody. And Ryan was overhyped, bro. There's just no other way about it. Do I think the rehydration clause affected him? Maybe a little, but not. It wouldn't have changed the outcome. He might have just lasted 2 more rounds and got me the 10 points on Champ Ross. But when you dehydrate and you're limited on your rehydration, you're more susceptible to getting knocked down easier. And I think that's what they were going for with that clause. But the way Ryan was fighting, Tank was toying with him and probably could have taken him out at any moment if he really wanted to. So at the end of the day, it's a wash. It doesn't really matter. But still, the rehydration clause was there for a reason. And that's about it.
I smoke. You got the flow, man. Go on and kill it. Uninterrupted, unadulterated. You got the flow. What you got?
Fury and Usyk, I don't think is a good fight. I don't know if that's going to happen. I want to see some Wilder and Usyk for me. But Ruiz, he can only win up close. I don't know if he's going to get that opportunity. I don't think he's going to have very many opportunities in that fight to be successful. I think
they're trying to make that fight too, Smoke.
Say again?
Just to give you a heads up. They're trying to make that Usyk and Wilder right now.
June, July. I heard the June and July.
I'm talking about the Wilder and Usyk. They're trying to make that because
man, they've been talking about it for a minute. I wanted that fight so bad. That would be a trip. I think Usyk gets decapitated in that fight. That's actually the fight I'm looking forward to more than any other fight in the heavyweight division is Wilder Usyk. That's the one I want. Andrade and Maul. It's a little bit old, right? It's a little bit past its date. I'm not mad at it. Both got Andrade didn't look good in his last outing. He got dropped by a guy who is not very. He wasn't very skilled. He's not very healthy. He's not very accomplished. It's some guy, right? That fight. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see Maul active. It seems like he has more issues outside of the ring. That's pulling him away from boxing. So if he's backing boxing, I would hope that he'd fix that part of it, and that's more what I'm interested in than that fight. That dude just needs to get it together and get back on a consistent, active path of fighting guys that are worth a damn, which is actually kind of hard to come by at 160 right now. Anyway, it's just kind of a boring division with not very good fights, expiring fights at least that I can think of.
They at 168, bro.
Oh shit! Oh my God! Yeah, they fucking Morrell Jr. At this point, I think is kind of the class of division. I guess I'd like to see the winner of that fight against Morrell Jr. Sure, why not? Sure, I'd like to see what they look like. Actually, Andre don't look good at 168 though. I haven't seen Maul there. Yeah, I just got to see what Maul looks like at 168 though. Go get knocked out by Morrell Jr. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, as far as what's next for Tank, Dev or Shakur, I don't know if those fights are going to be made. I think Shakur is a long shot. Like Bob Arum doesn't seem to be in the like making cross promotional fights and all that stuff. I think he's going to in-house Shakur Stevenson. As far as Devin Haney is concerned, it'd be a hell of a fight. I think the Loma and Devin fight I think it'll do good numbers. I'm not sure. We'll see if that does good numbers. If the numbers, I think will be the determining factor of whether or not we get that fight next. But I think Tank has a good shot at beating both of those guys. So he should be pursuing those fights to the best of his ability.
I got Tank undisputed. I think that he can achieve that easily. I think he beats Devin Haney. Although I like Devin Haney. Devin Haney is very sharp. I can argue that he may be just as sharp as Tank. And he has no problem with patience.
Agreed.
And that boy got a good ass stick. He's not reckless. And he's going to, I feel like Devin Haney is going to take his game to a new level when he fight Tank. I can see, now everybody was saying how they can see with Ryan Garcia something. I can see that for Devin Haney. I'm going to be rooting for Tank. I'm going to be picking Tank. But I can see Devin Haney making this dude look very, very normal. And what I mean by that is not that Tank wouldn't be good or look good. It's just that I think Devin Haney has the ability to keep him in everything that he does well at bay. Meaning that it's still there, because Devin Haney's not going to be the type of guy that say, oh, you know what, I hit him with a couple of combos, now I think I'm the shit. He's very poised, and he's going to keep it. If he 10-9 you in the first round and in the second round, he's going to repeat that cycle all the way through 12 with not giving a fuck at all. So Tank going to have to really push the action on this one. So that's my opinion. That's what I think. Undisputed with Devin Haney should be next. Ruiz don't get his ass stopped. Really nothing to go in depth on that. I think in 5 rounds, Big Tyson Fury gonna lean on him and stop him viciously. Wilder, if he were to get the fight with Usyk, he's gonna stop Usyk within 5, and then we're gonna have a build up for Tyson Fury and Wilder again. We both know they want to fight. They still got bad blood. We really want to see that. It's gonna be exciting. Hopefully, somehow, some way, AJ can get worked in between the two, and we can get that. But whatever. And then with Maul is absolutely going to dust Andrade ass off. Andrade ain't never had no skills. He hasn't fought anybody impressive. Never, ever. We can say these guys are title holders. We can say these guys have trinkets. But he has, out of everybody, he hasn't fought anybody from 154 to 168. And every time it looked like he's going to face somebody that appears to be good, he ducks. Talk about contract disputes, because he had a chance to fight Mayo, fucked that up. He had a chance to fight Janabek. I think that would have been a great one at 160. He vacated all of a sudden to then go into a fight that he ended up pulling out of, which would have been another great competitive fight.
They offered him
and Parker and a Canelo fight. Bingo. There you go.
Exactly. And that's it. That's my thoughts on it.
I'd add in Benavidez Morel as one I'd like to see, because
we forgot about the Errol Spence and the Terrence Crawford too.
Yeah, but Benavidez and Morel.
That would need more attention. So we just, you know what I'm saying, touch knees real quick. I'm with him on Benavidez. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think because Canelo's busy and he's most likely going to fight Bivol, that Benavidez shouldn't wait around. He'll probably get the Canelo fight eventually, but for right now, he should, let's see him fight Morrell. I don't know who I would pick in that fight, bro. Obviously, Benavidez has way more pro experience. And, Morrell, people say he's green, even though he's got a stellar amateur background. But I would tend to lean towards Morrell winning because he's just a sound fighter where Benavidez makes a lot of fucking mistakes. He gives up his height. He squares up. He rattles off long combinations. And I think Morrell will be picking him apart in between those shots and could get him out of there probably, or at least win on points. So I want to see that fight. I'm excited for that if that happens.
Morrell and
Benavidez
would be a hell of a fight. And I think I see it on the other side. I think that Benavidez hands too quick for Morrell to time. And Benavidez got power in both hands. I just see it being a wash. Like I feel like the reach of Benavidez is gonna be a real problem for Morrell. Like I just don't really see.
Morrell has longer reach.
Huh?
Morrell's reach is longer.
Oh, it's longer? Oh, I didn't know he was longer than Benavidez. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, in that case, I still see Benavidez hitting him with one of them shots and waking him up, and he not knowing what to do. Like plan A, plan B, plan C out the door. Cause he got bone crushing power. You know what I mean? And I just don't see Morrell really being able to do too much with Benavidez.
For me, the Benavidez Morrell. Look, man, this the thing right here. I get it, but this the truth about how many fights Morrell got? 9 fights, some shit like that.
9 counting last night.
Okay, 9 counting last night. All right. And in those 8 or 9 fights, I really personally hadn't seen like opponents that I think will prepare him for a Benavidez. I think he's talented? Absolutely. But talent alone is just not going to prepare you for a guy like Benavidez, who's at the top of the division, right? Especially when we talk about making picks. I know Benavidez is war tested. He's proven. And I don't know much about Morrell outside of the fact that he's really, really skilled. He has really good technical. He has power, but he has not got in the ring with an opponent like Benavidez skills or Benavidez experience. So for me, just by sheer logical standpoint, I got Benavidez beating him because that makes sense to me, right? Do I think it'll be a good fight? Absolutely, I do think it'll be a good fight. But as we can see, guys who box well, who got good fundamentals, I don't think it really fucks with Benavidez's game plan. We just seen the Caleb Plant fight. We seen him fight against. We seen Benavidez also stop Anthony Durrell. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to come with a lot more than just being a technical fighter when you get in there with Benavidez. You're gonna have to have something that's really gonna stop him in his tracks, because as that fight goes on, the kid gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And we all know the dude got power. So that's my take on it. By sure, just basic knowledge of what I know about both fighters, I got Benavidez whooping his ass. But he might be ready. I don't know. We'll see. He might be ready. Yeah.
All right, anybody, before we close it out with the Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, hypothetical situations, Anybody got anything before we move to that last subject? Because we're in the last 20 minutes, so everybody ready to cook.
Yeah, I do got one thing, man. I was trying to. I didn't want to jump in on Smoke thing because I know he was cooking, but I know he wants to see the Wilder and Usyk fight. But just a heads up to everybody. I know we all follow a lot of the same platforms, read a lot of the same forums and magazines and stuff like that, articles. Right now, Daniel Dubois has an ACL injury. He was going to be the mandatory for Alexander Usyk. He can't fulfill that now. The WBA has moved Deontay Wilder into that spot. So, right now they're actively trying to make that fight between Deontay Wilder and Alexander Usyk. Will it happen? I don't know. Obviously, we know Andy Ruiz and Wilder fell out. Ruiz went to the Tyson Fury route, and now Wilder is going the Usyk route. So that's just where we at. I just wanted to put that out there. If you knew the information, good. If you didn't, now you do. People that's out there listening, same thing applies.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wilder and Usyk, yeah, that's an interesting fight. That's an interesting fight. I don't know. I don't even know how that would really go, to be honest.
Stop it.
Come on, man. White sheep.
I mean, but it's the height, though, bro. It's the height that's gonna be a difference in that fight. Now with Tyson Fury, you know, Tyson Fury way heavier than Deontay. You know what I mean? And he could move. Like, we ain't never seen a big man that big move like that. You know what I mean? Like, but with Usyk, he a lot smaller. And I just think the height would be an advantage in that fight. But I also know Usyk is a supreme boxer, puncher. So that's the X factor in that fight. You know what I mean? But Deontay got that bone crushing power too. So, you know what I mean? He catch Usyk and Usyk don't see it coming, boy. It's good night. It's good night.
All right, so listen. All right, what y'all boys really want to speak on? I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let y'all finish it off. I got Terrence Crawford whooping Earl Spence Jr. ass, point blank, period. I can't wait till they make the fight so this man can become undisputed again and get Earl Spence to fuck up out the way because he holding up the division. He full of shit. He did the same complaining ass stuff he was saying that everybody did to him. And then for some reason, Crawford always made fights, but now it's up to this. I just don't fuck with Earl Spence. So I got Crawford whooping his ass. I don't know what y'all thoughts are on that.
Crawford. I got Crawford.
Yeah, I got Crawford easy. Definitely more skill. You know, the pressure might give him a little bit of problems here and there in the fight, but I think he'll find the openings. Spence, you know, when he comes in and tries to throw those combos, you know, his hands drop. Crawford's going to find the opening, hurt him. But, you know, who knows if that fight ever happens, bro? Like, they're talking about, last I heard, the rumor is like December or some shit, bro. And like, I'm just so tired of fucking even talking about it. Crawford's pound for pound to me. Spence can't beat him. I think Spence knows that, and that's why he's stalling it out and trying to, you know, make it last as long as he can. But he was looking chubby last night, and I just think he's been partying and having fun and not really thinking about boxing.
Yes, Spence Crawford. I think Crawford has lost step. I think Spence can take a shot. I think it's Spence on points. I'd love to see it happen. But my enthusiasm for talking about it has definitely been diminished since they didn't give it to me next. And they both, you know, were talking about it. They both were so certain, so adamant it was going to happen last year, and it didn't. I'm just, let me know when they actually make the fight.
Makes sense. All right, Phil. Shit, wrap it up. Close it down, man.
Yeah, man. Spence and Crawford. I mean, how long we been talking about this shit, man? For the longest. We've been talking about this shit for so long. I didn't try to switch my pick 45,000 fucking times, right? Because I typically pick whoever fought last. Because that's who fresh on my mind and that's who look good to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just being honest about it, man, because I think the fight at one particular time was that close. You understand what I'm saying? Now, man, look, to me, consistency in life, consistency in sports is important. You understand what I'm saying? And anybody who's a creature of habit, you understand what I'm saying? Is always gonna have an advantage with somebody whose life is chaotic and you're surrounded by chaos. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is this right here. Terrence Crawford, to me, is a very consistent fighter. Terrence Crawford is somebody who loves boxing and he lives boxing. And I think he trains year round. He's one of those kind of guys that I think you can call him 2 weeks before a fight and he'll be ready, right? And that's what I mean when I say he lives boxing and he lives a boxer's lifestyle. I know sometimes that could be inflated, but I don't think it's one of those things that's inflated with Terrence Crawford. He stays ready so he doesn't have to get ready. Now, does that play a factor in him beating Errol Spence? I think at this tenure, I think it does. Because Errol Spence to me has been questionable all around as far as his living habits, man. And he's had a lot of things happen to him within the last few years that just doesn't point to him being the guy he was before these incidents. Obviously the eye, obviously the car accident, obviously the excessive drinking,
chubbiness.
Obviously not consistently being in shape. So all those things, to me, I take all those things into account. I understand the man still has to have a training camp and the man can fight, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the consistent guy right now because he's just had a fight. He looked good during the fight. And I don't see any deterioration for Crawford right now. I just don't see it. Obviously, he's getting older. I'm not going to say it's hard. I hear people say he lost a step, but I mean, if losing a step means you stopping every fucking body, then chop both of my feet off. You dig what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So for people to say that about Crawford, this man is probably in everybody's at least top 2, top 3 pound for pound. To me, it's just ridiculous. So I say all that shit, man. I made a long story longer to say that I'm going with Crawford at the moment against Errol Spence Jr., which kills me because I'm a Texas guy. So, but it is what it is, man.
All right, shit. So we're gonna rotate on now. We almost at that 3-hour mark, and I gotta make some moves. Me and Big Zoe got some shit to do today. But Phil, tell them where they can find you at. Get Smoke, Hype Low, and then we'll let you close it out, Big Zoe Money, since you're new to the crew and stuff like that. And everybody, I hope everybody have a blessed day, good day. Once these guys rotate out, then that's it for us, and we done. Go ahead, Big Phil. Tell them where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me on IG, man. The Fix, THAA_FIX, THAA_FIX. That's my IG. My YouTube channel is called The Fix, THAFIX. My page icon is the same exact. Is it my same exact icon? Yep, same exact icon is what's on my page, my YouTube page. So if you want to go follow me there, that's cool. If you want to go to my IG, I should have a link attached to my IG with my YouTube page. So that's where you boys can find me at, man. But you can always find me on Coach K channel, aka Zone 6. I know about Kendall. Or you can find me on other platforms as well, talking to different channels. So holla at me.
All right, well, all right, peace out, man. Go ahead and get Smoke. You got it.
Yeah, I'm easy. You can find me at Get This Smoke on YouTube. Yeah, we do lives every Friday. Come check us out. We chop up everything that's relevant, whether it's the new stuff, the the modern stuff, or even the old school. You never know where the top's going to go, but we keep it boxing for the most part. Yeah, come check us out Fridays, and also just hit up the channel for the playback stuff. But it's great seeing you again. I haven't cooked with you, and it seems like forever, Zone. Yeah, man, it's been always a pleasure. Blessings, man.
Oh yeah, we here, man. I just have to do what I gotta do to keep it moving. I can't just wait on folks. So you welcome, Get the Smoke. You always been active. Greatly appreciate you. You and Phil always have good back and forth to keep things pushing, keep it exciting. And I get to scale things around that based on how good you guys are. So I greatly appreciate you for showing up every time, regardless of if we consistent or inconsistent. You show up when we ask you to show up. So I greatly appreciate you for that. Get the Smoke.
Right, no sweat, man. Like I said, always a pleasure. Till next time.
All right, boy, be safe. All right, so Hyplo, Big Hap, it's on you, man. The OG.
Yo, thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure. Good job on the 139 points. I'm going to come for that ass this week, though. I'm going to try to get ahead of you. But you did a great job, man. I was surprised you got your picks in so quick, and you did so well, man. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, explain to the audience what you're talking about so they can have a clue.
Oh, there's a prediction league. Champ Ross, he's been in the chat. If you scroll up the chat, you'll see he was commenting all the whole time we were on here. He's got a prediction league. You can hit him up, and he'll send you the picks. It's basically like fantasy boxing league. It's kind of fun because I like it because it made me pay more attention to the undercards than I normally probably would have. But anyway, good job, Zone, and thanks for having me on. Nice to meet you, Zo Money, and I'm always around. I'll be here.
All right, but I see you. Appreciate your hype load next time. All right, Big Zo, man, you can close us out, man. You the new guy, technically, kind of, sort of. You can tell them a little bit about your background. You got the last 10 minutes, man, to close us out. Say what you need to say, get it out the way, and do your thing, man. Let them know what you're all about.
Hey, man, y'all know, man, shout out to my big boys, Zone, Rocklow, and Haplow, all them boys, you know what I mean, Phil, Big, you know what I mean, hey, I'm just another boxing guru, bro. I study this thing, I love this thing, man, and I love what y'all got going, good brothers, man, talking about something positive instead of negative, man. We ain't out here robbing, killing everybody, making an honest living, taking care of their families, man. That's really what it's about, but at the end of the day, I'm around, man. I'm here now. Alonzo Hunt on YouTube, you know what I mean? And my boy Zone, you know what I mean? Coach K, you know, in the building, the enforcer. You know what I mean? Hey, just get ready. There's a lot of action coming. It's a lot of action coming. A lot of good news. A lot of boxing. Boxing about to change the globe, man. Stay tuned. I'm out of here.
Right. Yeah. So I was talking to him for a second, Hyplo. Appreciate that for saying I'm on mute. But this is what I'm saying. Look, okay, this one of the little zones right here. So what you want to say?
Sonic.
Sonic. All right. So anyway, look. Me and Zo got big plans today. We gotta go see the Hawks play today, man, and we're gonna have a good time with my partners. Like you said, it's about being positive in the community, doing your thing, and out here arguing and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to keep it clean for you guys, keep it precise and accurate. 3 hours should be enough because most of us take road trips about that length. It'll get you through a quarter of your work day. I try to keep it right in now. Maybe 4 hours if I get the whole gang in here. B Talk wasn't in here today. Lady Shan, Blood. If I get more, then we'll base it based on how much participation I get. But I'm gonna try to keep you guys 3 hours, and I'm gonna be consistent with it. I got the new feature on the phone. I got all the things that I need to do. So I'm in a very open space for my schedule. So we're gonna keep this thing going. And remember this: you guys are all welcome to my channel. My junk is interactive. I'm not one of these guys that feel too big for YouTube, and we good to go out of that. So this your boy. Just keep the name Zone6. Coach K came from me coaching youth football for 2 years, well, really 4 years, and he want to give me headphones. He think that somehow got something to do with this, but I'm gonna put them on for him. So anyway, Coach K come from the streets on the east side of Atlanta. The kids gave me that, so I earned that. That's why I said Coach K for a little bit. But y'all know me as Zone 6, and that's what we're gonna keep it as. Zone 6, and we know what that is. That's that 107. That's that Glenwood. So it is what it is, man. East side all day. All right, I'm out.